I raised the demon accidentally.
There we are. Welcome, friends, to another game of Skyfall 5th Edition. I'm Lucian, your DM for tonight, as always, and today we're joined by the somewhat recently renamed Full Service. You guys, in your last session, got up to quite a little bit of shenanigans here.
Fuck.
And oh man, there was a great fight near the end as well. So, you had managed to conclude your deal with Theo and all that a little bit before, and having picked up your payment, you decided to go and do some other work around, and eventually made it into this town of Springtown, where you took a small job from not the leader, but a rather irate official, and went off to deal with what would be a routine group of bandits, which turned out to be a lot more than you were ready for, and almost lost Verth and perhaps all of your lives in the process, and only by having defeated the leader of this group of fairly well-trained mercenaries, were you offered the chance to walk away without having Verth's head bludgeoned in, and you had, unfortunately, been forced to surrender all of your gold. So returning back to where you are now, all of you are near the outside of the cave. There's blood everywhere and a few bodies as well, though you can count yourselves amongst the lucky that have survived. And the group of mercenaries nearby has healed their leader, and the group of them have had a sort of standoffish moment with you where the agreement was done and then both of your parties went in different ways, they disappearing towards the south and you towards the north. And as you're all traveling through the woods, there's only a brief moment there, something feels amiss, and then with a single blink, you're all in the forest during the middle of the night.
Couldn't have happened before we gave him the gold. God damn it! Damn you, us!
Is this what happens when you have a near-death experience? Like, what just happened? Like,
Yep. Basically, every time we royally fuck up, time skips along. Apparently, right, guys?
Yeah, that's
are you saying you're contagious? And I just got it.
very much so.
Absolutely.
You should be
Absolutely.
horrified.
Oh yeah.
We've only
God,
ever had it between
fucking
us, so you
Damn.
should count yourself among a lucky few.
Yeah, and you're not looking that great either. Like I don't know if it's agreeing with you.
Yeah. You know, if I were you, I would tell no one about it, try to spread it. That way everyone can have it. It's a gift, really. Just spread it. Spread it and be happy. No, in all seriousness, that was absolutely fucked. Happy we all got out alive.
I will second
Sorry,
that.
I fucked up.
You did not fuck up. If anything, me running out boisterously and completely getting, well, peppered. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. Falling within the first few seconds. I mean, all I felt was Lotho's creepy breath on my neck, and suddenly I was up and about again. But, yeah. That,
I don't
something
think,
Sorry,
I
go
don't
ahead.
think any of us were expecting that anyways.
No, not really.
I guess
like-
that's true.
Like that guy at the town was just like, yeah, let's go take care of a few bandits, and
You
we'll give
know-
you like 10 gold.
You know, am I the only one that's suspicious of that man now?
Very much so.
I mean, he could be innocent, I guess, but 10 gold.
Never be too careful.
Or
10
he could-
gold to send us in the middle of a fucking trapped
Yeah.
wood? With
I
the
mean-
with what was going on here?
There's no way he doesn't know what's.
No. Maybe we pay that little fucker a visit.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Well, am I the
Yeah.
only one that thinks that way?
No, I mean, I agree.
Let's do it.
Aldrin, how are you doing, by the way?
I've lost a little bit of blood here and there, but no.
You seemed royally peeved when we walked off.
Yeah, I still kind of am. I wanted those bastards dead.
Well, No reason to say that we don't get back. It's just we need to be more prepared next time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although if they're smart, they're not going to be staying here much longer. Although it is fortified, who knows?
I don't know if they really
Um,
have any reason to leave.
Well, they did just absolutely kill us, but the leader also, thanks to Reza here, was pretty much dead. So there's that. They might decide to move on. Yep, no, he was a right dick. Surprised Verth survived as long as he did.
Not a lot,
Anyways,
but a right
did we all agree to get the fuck out? I mean, we
Yes.
don't know how much time has passed. It's dark. We know there are traps everywhere, presumably. Let's just go rough up Gnome, or whatever the fuck he was. Sorry, I'm a bit prejudiced to you young guys. Not young, short. My mistake. Anyways, yeah, let's go beat him up.
Fucking
Well,
gnomes.
or maybe talk to him first, then beat him up, and see what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. Let's just get out of here.
I shove my axe up his ass.
No chance at getting my glaive back, I suppose.
Well, if you want to go back and die, I mean, I'd prefer not doing that, but
So you had all managed to walk maybe about 5 or 10 minutes away from the site before this sort of darkness fell on you and you found yourselves with the stars overhead instead of the sun.
As much as I hate saying it, I don't want to risk it.
well,
Do you
yeah.
have anything?
I've
He's
got
got-
this. I've got this toothpick. It's like a sphere.
Well, I could do some recon to see if they've moved on, but some of those bastards are just as talented as I am. I'm not sure if I'd be able to spot them.
I mean, I've got one more B shape left, so I
Not
could
worth your
join
life.
you.
No, you're right. Let's just go find out what the hell's going on with the gnome, and maybe we come back. Once we find out how many days have passed, and if any more raids have come about in the nearby area, maybe find out that they've moved on, and we go get your glaive.
Just nod.
Let's go.
Okay. So you all head back towards the town of Springtown, and this little settlement isn't more than a couple of days away. You're gonna make a roll or two while you fast travel. You all have ample Outlander feats in order to get all the food you could possibly want. But I will have you all change your name in TeamSpeak to match Cinnavon's here. So it's whatever you want me to call you IRL, maybe your Steam handle or whatever your real name might be or anything like that. And then in brackets, put your character's name, just so it's a bit easier to tell what's going on with the stream. Perfect. There it is. More of that. Awesome. Let's
Gotta love.
see. So not going back for the glaive. Right.
Really expect us to? You son of a bitch.
On the way back, you would have noticed Verth really pouty. Just having an existential quandary full of loathing and self-doubt, racked with the pain and isolation of his pitiful, meaningless existence without that glaive. Just really sad.
I don't think Lotho's that insightful.
I've moved to the top of the.
Okay. So it's very obvious and plain to see that Verth is not handling the loss of his weapon very well. Even on the first night where you're all camping there, it's plain to see.
And I have like this kind of false sense of bravado on me, almost as if I'm overcompensating. But yeah, I'm not exactly feeling too hot about it either.
Aldrin's super pissed still. He's calmed down a little bit, but he's really pissed.
Okay.
Glad we got out.
Yeah, you all survived, but it definitely seems that the your recent brush with death has left some sort of a mark on your group. Now, I should mention that during the first night, there's no sort of interruption, no bandits attack, no beasts devour one of you in your sleep. However, Lotho, you are plagued by strange dreams.
Dryads?
Triads. No, I didn't say sex dreams. I said strange dreams.
That wasn't even you, man.
Yeah, right? I avoided that.
So Lotho, while you're
No, but
sleeping,
Aldrin had some great dreams.
you find yourself floating almost as though you're in the middle of a storm. There's very dark clouds all around you, and lightning bolts streak through cloud. It's completely obfuscating. You can't see anything past a few feet. And as you look around, you see that the sky begins to change, and it turns to a clear, beautiful day. But instead of having a sun up ahead, you see what looks to be some sort of red eye that watches you up in the sky. It has a bathing light of red that kind of drops all over the land. And you find yourself standing in a desert in the middle of nowhere as all this storm disappears. You can feel as the hot eye sun rains down upon you. And as you look around, off in the distance, you see what looks to be figures in light brown robes walking through the desert off into the distance. What do you want to do?
I'll slowly approach.
Okay. As you walk over towards them, you see that they're not actually cresting over the sand dune off in the distance, but they actually disappear as they meet the top of a hill nearby, and their forms just turn invisible, seemingly vanishing into thin air. And there's this long line of them all moving in a single file as they vanish one by one into the top of the hill. As you get closer, almost as if reacting to your movement in their direction, one of them turns over his shoulder. You can't see his or her face because of the sort of darkness that falls from the hood, but you hear a voice that speaks into your head. Voice says, "Lotho, the firstborn gathers us. The time for material concern hangs on an autumn wind. Honor our call and trust your feelings. We gather at the torch." And then he turns back and steps up to the top of the hill and disappears. And as he does, you wake from your dream in a cold sweat in the middle of the night.
Do I have any idea what what that means? Like, what the torch is?
Oh, interesting. How about you go ahead and roll an insight check for me?
$19.
19. Okay. That's a pretty good roll. The whole dream is rather cryptic, and you've never had one exactly like that, but the only thing that really sort of sits on you is that the firstborn is a name sometimes used for Eridan, because he's the oldest of his brothers. And the other clue that you think of is that given that material concern hangs on an autumn wind, you know that you are past the halfway point for autumn, and that the season is coming to an end. But that's about all you're able to gather. You notice that nearby, it appears that Carrick is still awake. He's currently doing his watch. And Carrick, as you're seated there by the fire, and you guys are all tucked away during the night, halfway towards Springtown, you see Lotho wake up, and he looks like he's not doing well.
Look over and just kind of nod my head up inquisitively without saying anything.
Just kind of wipe my brow and just wave my hand like, oh, it's nothing.
Alright, well, I shrug and I go back to looking 80% at my sword, 20% at the horizon.
It's the only valuable thing I own. The night passes, and midway through the next day, at the very height of the afternoon sun overhead, on a somewhat cold autumn day, you step into what appears to be Springtown here. You can see all of its little small huts and its populace kind of wandering about here and there, and you know that off towards the center of this little town you can find its central hall or its temples and all of its other lack of amenities. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna go to Verth and Aldrin and be like, alright, who's being good cop? Who's being bad cop?
Aldrin's gonna yawn, and that's it. just because he's so tired.
I think I could be a pretty good cop.
Okay.
Perhaps. I don't know.
Maybe if we get Aldrin drunk.
All you
maybe
see
it's
is
not.
Aldrin like, all Aldrin's doing is yawning and then doing that like mouth gross like tapping with his mouth like
Ew. Fuck. Yeah. Okay. We'll leave him outside. Fuck. All right.
I'll do whatever. I
Limbs
don't
back down.
fucking care.
Now, how about you kind of take the lead? You're intimidating as is, even if you have a kind of nice tone. You're about 3 gnomes taller than he is, so maybe just take the lead on this one and see what happens.
What's this guy's name?
I have no idea.
I don't think we ever got it.
I don't think we did either.
Call him a little shit. No, you're a good cop. That's right.
You there, little shit.
Might be a bad opening. We don't know if he's. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just venting and directing it at this little fuck or not. But do what you can. You know what? I'll be on the side. I'll kind of read his body language. I'll see what's going on.
Once again, I'll give a little nod. Just start heading towards the.
Nice. I'll follow.
Okay. So all of you step into the city hall here, unless some of you are splitting off, and you can see that it appears to be a pretty quiet day, even though it's the middle of the afternoon and there's plenty of townsfolk wandering about. Inside the city hall, there's very little going on. There's all the tables, like you had seen before, and some papers that sit on them, but only one of them is staffed with anybody, and he seems to be more or less just filing his fingernails, like he's not really paying attention to anything. As you guys open the door, he kind of looks up from his little distraction, and then turns back towards his table after kind of giving you a smile for a brief moment.
I'll walk up and put my elbows right on his desk, really loud, and just like stare right at him.
Okay, you can see it. It looks like a little halfling on the other side there. He's maybe about middle-aged for a halfling, and kind of startles for a brief second, but then looking towards you, he says, "Sorry, did you have a question?"
Pardon me. I'm looking for a little gnome. He sent us on a little trivial task. I just need to talk to him. Do you happen to know where he's at?
I have plenty of gnome friends in town. Do you have a name?
He works here.
Oh, he's carrying around papers. Fussing about something.
He's kind of a klutz, dropping papers everywhere.
Oh yes. He's off right now.
Would you
where?
Would you care to direct us where we can find him?
Can I
we have to
insight
thank
check
him.
this guy, by the way, to see if he's telling the truth?
Yeah, go ahead. You roll insight, and you roll persuasion, Verth.
Interesting.
Sweet 7! With my insight, that makes a solid 11. Very strong 11.
Strong 11 for a insight roll. You're not entirely sure, but it doesn't really look like he's lying to you if you had to lean towards one or the other.
Cool.
That's
Okay, so
a
he's
solid 2.
Okay. He
He's
says,
solid and makes it better, by the way.
I don't know if I'm really comfortable giving you all his address. Are you friends of his, or?
Yeah, you know what? He was, he actually personally sent us on an errand. We had a pretty good rapport before we left. So, really, we just want to touch base with him, very quickly give him a quick summary of what's going on. He has to be appraised of the situation as it came, with the details, as it were. So, if we can just quickly get his details, we'll run over town, give him a quick talk, and then head off and finish the job. Don't mind. Oh, come on.
Make a persuasion roll for me, please.
Ooh.
You got
High
this.
roller! That's a 17.
17. He pauses for a second, and he looks at the rest of you, over towards Lotho, then Aldrin, and then turns back towards you two, and he says, "Fine, you can find him here. He's over by the water." And he kind of shows you a little map that he's got there, and points out where he is in the town. You're sure you could find his house with ease.
Perfect. And his little vacation day today, was that planned in the schedule? Did he just kind of tell you he wasn't coming in?
Oh, no, everyone gets a few days off every now and then. He's been sort of on vacation for the last couple.
Okay. Oh, right, last couple. Beth, you happen to know the date that we came in last?
Just shrug.
Fuck. Lotho? Our infamous bookkeeper?
Oh.
No, I got
You got nothing?
last
Aldrin,
date I took
Aldrin,
down.
I mean, I hope you're not offended that I'm asking you last, but...
No, I get it.
Okay.
No, but I don't know. A couple days ago, I think. Yeah.
You're just making shit up, mate.
No, I know my stuff.
Do you happen to... When was he last here? I know this seems a bit bizarre, I'm sorry. It's just we've been out in the field for quite a bit. We're just trying to get a gauge of how much time that's passed. We've kind of lost track.
Porel is, I don't know, I think he was here the 90th, 91st, something like that.
And we're what today?
The 94th.
4th. Right, so presume that we've been out for at least that long. Okay, well, thank you very much, and we'll be on our way.
Alright. You can tell he's still kind of uneasy about the whole exchange, but you
I
all...
give him a nice tap on the shoulder.
Okay.
Like enough to kind of move his body, and then I...
Yeah, he sort of like freezes as you do, and then when you guys head outside, you wander towards the lake there. Are you guys doing anything before you get to Porel's house?
What's his name?
Porel.
Oh, real.
Oh, real.
Fucking gangster name. Let's see if I spelled it the right way. Oof. Nope.
Okay. So you guys are
I
just
was
gonna
put
head
P.O.
straight over?
Yeah, and I'm letting Verth take point.
Okay. So you eventually get up in front of the house, and you don't have to wander on inside, because seated at a stool just outside of the door, you can see the same gnome official. He's there on his little like half stool, and has in his hands what looks to be like a tulip bulb or something like that, and he's just kind of like brushing dirt off of it. You can see like little pots and planters all around him, like he must be redoing his garden or something.
Fucking gnomes.
Verth, do you wanna take the lead on this one?
I'm holding back a rage, by the way.
Jesus.
Nice, love it.
All right. Sure. Why not? I'll waltz right up to him.
Okay. You wander towards him, and you can hear him as you get closer. He's just kind of humming to himself.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Oh,
hello.
You remember us?
Yeah, he looks over at the group, and he says, "Oh yes, that was almost 20 days ago, wasn't it?"
Has it
Oh,
been that long?
For
Sorry.
fuck's sakes.
We lose track of time.
I thought you would be back. The spot I had marked on the road was only a day or two away, and well, you know, you did the job. The bandits, they all left.
Did they now?
Did you not? Was it not you who sent them away?
I want you to be very honest with me, and I'm gonna like kind of tower over him a little bit.
Okay, the moment you kind of like stand over him a little, he's just like holding like his little flower bulb. So he looks up at you and he's like,
I'm gonna kind of approach and circle and put my hand on my hilt as well.
Oh jeez. The moment that you
Now,
touch
now.
the hilt of your sword, you hear Reza's voice in your head, and he just says, "Need a light."
Love it.
This guy, go ahead and roll an intimidation check for me here, Verth.
Ooh, and that's a 18, I believe.
Okay, yeah, he's trembling a little bit, and he's trying to play it cool, but it's pretty obvious that he's not feeling particularly comfortable right now.
That little errand you had us go on was no small task. You see this mark here, the scar. You see this scar? It wasn't very friendly. It wasn't nice. It wasn't pleasant, to say the least. It wasn't just one small band of bandits. You see, these were professionals. And your information.
Well, I didn't know. All we knew, all Springtown knew was that there was a group of bandits over there, and they had attacked a couple of caravans, and one of them was headed for Springtown, so we never got that shipment, and somebody put, well, nice little reward on their head, and that was it. It's just gold cobbled together from the different people here in town.
My insight check?
Yeah, go ahead and roll insight.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Well, that's not good.
Yep.
Okay. You think that he's telling the truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I kind of lighten and take a few steps back and take my hand off my pommel and just kind of cross my arms while Bertha's doing his thing.
Okay. He says, I swear I had no idea. I thought they'd just be a group of bandits. You all seemed capable.
I think he's telling the truth, Verth.
I don't know. Do I? Can I roll insight?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, there we go.
You know he's telling the truth.
All right, I'll just give out a long sigh and I'll stop the intimidation,
Okay. Yeah.
overbearing thing.
As
I'll
you
just
sort of
kind of
like back
sit
away
down
a
right
little
next
bit
to
from him, you can see that he starts to breathe a little bit more easy. He goes, Whew. The reward is still back at the city hall. No one's claimed responsibility for it. I'd be happy to hand it over to you guys.
Yeah, and you're gonna fucking double it.
Says what? I don't. Let's go there right now.
Yep.
And he like hops off his stool and starts to head off towards the city hall.
And while we're walking, if I can, be like, look, I don't mean to be cross, mate, but we nearly all fucking died.
He says, I didn't know. We just knew that a caravan went missing. That was it.
I believe you. I believe you, which is why we're not about to fucking circle you right now and take you out for a nice little swim.
Jeez.
No, yeah, I know, it's pretty savage. See, we haven't really lost before, and seeing my friends on the cusp of death like that wasn't exactly something I enjoyed going through, so I'm sure you can understand our aggravation at this time.
Go ahead and roll insight for me.
Motherfucker! Oh, 23!
You see that Po'Real kind of purses his lips, and you can tell that he has a thought, but he's keeping it to himself, and he chooses not to say anything. He just smiles and nods as you say that, and then continues towards the city hall.
I immediately grab him by the shirt collar.
He just kind of looks down at your hands and up at you.
And I take a knee, and I'm squeezing the shirt collar, like you should feel the shoulders pulling in.
Okay.
Want to share something?
Said, well...
Spit it out?
Dealing with the bandits, I mean, everybody knows that's dangerous. I don't mean to downplay what your group went through, but you signed up to go and... Well, you knew it was gonna be a job with risk of bad stuff.
Oh, risk, yes. Last group of bandits we saw, we eviscerated. You understand? These were professionals, ex-military possibly, with the entire forest trapped. A cave fortress, for fuck's sakes.
And he says, well, isn't that kind of a risk you take when you do work like that.
I fucking release the shirt and push him back a few feet and get up, just frustrated.
Okay. He kind of stumbles and falls on his rear there for a second before getting back up, and he dusts himself off.
Let's get this over with.
You see, as you get towards the city hall here, eventually he dips in through the door and disappears behind another door near the back end of the room before coming back, and he hands to you a bag of gold, and he says, "Look, there it is. There's 20, okay?"
Yep, that's good.
Okay, so you can add to your inventory 20 gold, or split it, whatever you folks wish to do. But Poril definitely doesn't want to stick around to see what any of it is. And you see, he looks at you and he says, "Are we done?"
We're done.
And
I split up 5 each, and I just start walking out.
yeah, you hear him like mumble as he leaves for the door, and he goes, "Just gonna plant my flowers." And kind of just
I'll feel a tinge of guilt, but I'm not going to show it outwardly at all.
Okay. And he disappears on through the door and heads back towards the lake area. And you guys have all finished that small task and made a little bit of gold in the process. Doubled, in fact, through some extortion.
Not as much as I had
like
before.
to think of it as friendly persuasion.
Right.
Is that wrong?
Okay. What do you folks wish to do? It's a fine day outside, top of the afternoon.
Bird talked to us about those blights all around the world. I mean, that's something.
Are you
You wanna go
referring to the
save-
eagle?
You wanna go
Eagle.
save the world again, Lotho?
I mean, I'm all for it.
Let's do it.
So, no one wants
I'd rather fight giant tentacle hentai beasts rather than fucking
I mean,
Those
well, I mean, that
professionals
was just-
any
The
day.
fuck
I mean-
is that word? What?
Your dragonborn thing.
Hey,
Fucking weird, mate. So no one wants to
What-
go
what do
hunt
you
down
guys
these
wanna do?
bastards and go kill them? Alright.
you think we can? I mean, I guess we did all right. I mean, if we're better.
Worst case, we give them 20 gold and walk away again, right?
Well, how many did you kill
No.
before?
Killed a few, but we were caught surprised. I mean, Lotho's got the nice principled idea. I suppose I'm not opposed to it. My ego talking, that's all.
Because I would love to destroy those bastards.
Well, you know,
But
now
whatever
that
the-
they haven't touched the caravan, the least we can do is go back to the cave and maybe get Verth's glaive. He's been kind of down and pouty since we've walked away from it.
Hey, don't you talk to my friend like that.
I'm gonna try to lie through my teeth and say, "No, I'm not."
Right. No. I want to get it for you, Verth. Clearly, it hasn't affected you in the slightest.
No one needs an insight check.
Uh,
All right.
Maybe we go back the exact way we came. We were able to avoid some traps. And then, I mean, Lotho, I think you've got a good point. I'm not sure where to start, to be honest, but the other druid, I'm sure you'll point us in the right direction.
Figure something out. Let's do this first. At least we have a heading for this.
Right.
I'm all heading.
Okay,
So we
interesting.
head back.
You're going back. All right.
We're healed up. We've sorted some gold. We scared the shit out of no. I feel more confident now. I think this is what bullying feels like.
Just a little.
Trading my soul for extra gold. Totally worth. Let's see here. Okay, so you make a single day of travel once again undisturbed till you get to the area, but by the time that you get there, night is starting to fall, and you have more or less an hour or two before evening has fully sort of crept on you. And as you get towards there, there's a brief moment, Lotho, where you see off in the distance behind a tree what looks like a piece of cloth floating in the wind. It's like an almost silvery white grayish cloth that just like rolls on the wind, fitting of maybe someone's laundry kind of going by on a blustery day.
Derek, you see that? I'm gonna try and point it out.
Do I see it?
You look over and you don't see anything. And Lotho, as you continue to watch this, the little piece of cloth kind of like does a little twirl in the air and moves down towards the ground. And as it does, you see it fills into what appears to be like a flask, a little potion bottle. And as it does, the bottle shatters whoosh, and it all disappears. The cloth, the glass, everything.
I guess I'm just seeing. Alright.
Okay. All right. I'll just keep walking.
I didn't
But
get
I'm
very
gonna
good
keep
sleep last night.
I'm gonna maybe if I was looking before, I'm gonna be very careful now and keep a very close eye on the horizon.
Okay.
Because I think that Aldrin's just being drunk, but he might have actually seen something that was a threat.
Okay. So you are now standing at the mouth of this cave that you had been to before, and along the way, no traps assailed you, nothing like that. You can see the maw of the cave and the entrance that descends down into what should be the central room beyond. Are you all going in?
I'll lead the way,
Aldrin.
Will.
Using my dark vision, can I kind of just take a peek in and see what I see?
Sure. Looking down the dark hallway, you can see right about to where the hallway makes a mild turn, and you'll have to go down there, but if memory serves, once you get past that little turn, it leads right into the other room.
Right. Okay. All right. We'll take the lead.
Aldrin's gonna waltz right in there.
Oh,
Okay.
I just roll my eyes.
There's no
Just walk-
shits given. He's just gonna walk right in.
Alright, you all make your way over there, and as you start to go down, you find it's incredibly dark. Is anybody here without dark vision?
Yeah, I don't have it.
Pretty sure I don't have it.
Okay, so the two of you, as you go down here, basically see absolutely nothing. By the time that you're halfway down the hall, going around this turn, it's really only the sound of footsteps of your companions that you have to orient yourselves.
I'll do a produce flame cantrip.
Okay, nice. Yeah, you hold out your hand and a flame with no painful heat just like appears in your hand and casts a dull light 20 feet around and then a dim light 20 feet beyond that. As you continue to go down, you eventually get to this main central room and you can see, those of you with dark vision at least, that across the room at its center appears to be a rope. And at the end of the rope there is a bear trap, its heavy metal jaws holding onto the metal end of Verth's glaive.
I want to do something badass and with my hand crossbow shoot down the rope.
Interesting. Sure, okay. Go ahead and make a attack roll for me.
AC of 30. Woohoo! I embarrassed myself.
Okay. You pull out your hand crossbow and shoot it across the room, just like seemingly at the glaive, and it just kind of like, misses by about a foot and clatters against a wall in the distance.
All right, Aldrin's gonna pull out one of his throwing axes or throwing hand axes,
Oh god.
and he's gonna
I'm
attempt to do
gonna,
it now
I'm gonna
too.
fucking,
I'm gonna back.
I'm gonna back
up.
up. 100%.
Go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage, please.
Oh, 19. Wait,
Disadvantage.
so I have to roll again.
Yeah. Remember the 19? Maybe you roll high.
Balls! I got a
Yeah. Yeah, that was almost opposite ends of the spectrum.
Damn.
Good thing I
From a
backed up.
1901.
I did specify that.
I did too.
Aldrin, you go forth to throw this axe, and as you let go of it, you do so too late, and it's like lower in the swing than you had
Oh
intended.
god, it's gonna hit right into my foot.
And you throw it basically like into the ground about 10 feet in front of you. And as it lands there, you see the top head of the axe having just like been thrown purposefully with all your strength into the ground. The top of the axe just kind of like pops off from the little wooden shaft there, and its two pieces kind of scatter throughout the leaves here in the cave.
Aldrin's gonna have a tear in his eye.
Well, Aldrin, I was about to say I was embarrassed, but thank you
And-
so much for making me feel better.
Now I'm gonna go over and pick
How-
up my XP.
Wait!
Oh,
It's literally
I will stop.
you fool! Don't go!
How high is it off the ground? Like
Oh, it's
Elevated.
only like a couple inches off the ground, actually.
no, my glaive.
Yeah, your glaive, so like, you know, its lowest point is a few inches from the ground.
God damn it. Should have asked that question.
All right. How far from us right now?
That's like 50 feet away.
Oh.
Like, or
That's
sorry,
not
not
good.
50, 30.
Can we see it at this point? Those without dark vision?
Those of you without dark vision, it's like you can barely kind of see something hanging there at the edge of the like produce flame cantrip that you've got going on.
Okay. I'll cast a thorn whip and try and grab it and pull it towards us.
Oh, interesting. What's the range on Thorn Rip?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, yeah, make an attack roll with it.
Nice. That would be. That's just like a 3, right? I don't. No, I add my spell.
Yeah, so it's
Wisdom,
plus
so it's a
proficiency and plus your
Oh, plus proficiency.
Yeah.
So I think that's a 7.
okay. So you pull out like a magical whip from non-existence appears in your hand and go and fling towards here, and you unfortunately miss it, and the whip disappears. But if I'm not mistaken, Thorn Whip is a cantrip, so you can.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. So if you
Alright.
want, you can keep doing that until you manage to get successful.
I'm gonna try it again.
Okay. You send this
I'll
whip
walk
out a
over
couple
to it.
more times, and finally the tip of it just kind of wraps around the glaive. And as you pull on it, you hear this horrible sound. It's like nails on a chalkboard as the clasp of the bear trap and the end of the metal here attached to the glaive kind of like pulls apart, and you pull it back, and it just kind of like slides through the leaves back towards your group. Along the way, while you're kind of retracting this whip and pulling it towards you, you see multiple traps go off, and like, for instance, as the glaive is being pulled towards you with this thorn whip, you hear the sound of a crossbow fire and a bunch of bolts kind of like bounce off of the walls in different directions.
I'm gonna interrupt and be like, Lotho,
Mm-hmm.
do you wanna, and I'm gonna look to Verth. Verth's permission, of course. Instead of just dragging it straight to us, can you kind of whip it around, no pun intended? See if you can trigger a few more traps and kind of open the floor?
By all means.
I mean, I can try. It's really only supposed to pull it towards me, but
Oh, right, okay, I don't know how it works.
I mean, I can try it.
Okay.
Sure. Roll Arcana for me. Oh, nat 20.
Oh.
Okay.
Alright,
job.
that works.
So the Vine
that's
Whip,
22.
it has a very specific purpose. Its spell is designed to do one thing and one thing only, but sometimes you can kind of bend the rules of magic, and you manage to kind of swing about this whip without trying to grab anything, just like sweeping across the floor as you move forward. One hand holding this magical whip, and the other one with a little like produced flame there so you can see. And as you go along, you see the remnants of multiple traps that had been laid throughout all of these leaves. And you clear a path that's completely free of them so that you guys can now easily access the 3 other areas of this cave system if you so wish. And you can move around in this room without having to worry about traps.
Aldrin's gonna run right up to his hand axe and try and put it back together.
Sure? Okay, let me see here. Make a strength check for me.
Oh god.
Oh,
I'll give
that's a good
Verth
roll.
his glaive.
I pick it up with a
15.
single tear in my eye.
Plus
Little smile.
3,
I missed you so much.
18.
18. Okay, yeah, you managed to take it and pop it back on top, and you do so feeling that the two have sort of cemented back together, and this would be combat ready once again.
I'm just gonna put it back in my backpack and probably never take it out again.
Nice.
Safe forever.
What do you guys want to do? Kind of like
My
explore around a bit. We
precious.
kind of achieved our mission.
We did. Do you want to take a look?
I
mean,
would
there
be
might
lying
be-
if I said I wasn't curious.
Might be nothing in here, but you're here.
But there also might be something.
Well, we have Lotho. As long as we keep Lotho safe, you can always kind of pick us back up, right?
A little bit, anyways.
Right. Ah, I'm feeling adventurous. I need a bit of daring after our last kind of encounter.
Okay. So you're gonna go through the next 3 halls of this cave. Which one do
Yes.
you pick? There's one towards the left, one directly in front of you, and one that goes off towards the right a little bit. So it's you're kind of shaped like this.
Okay, guys. D4, 1 left, 2 middle, 3 right, and 4 reroll.
Or reroll.
Sure.
Alright, let's do it.
I'm feeling lucky.
3. So that's gonna be right.
Okay.
Roll the d6.
As you travel towards the right, you eventually make it around a small turn and find that here there appears to be some kind of storage room. The room definitely doesn't look like it was carved out very well if it was, and you can see like all the rocky walls and everything there, but amidst the stone there are many little chests and barrels and crates and all the like kind of just piled in over here.
I want to search through.
Wait,
Carrot,
wait.
can you check for traps?
Wait, okay. Full disclosure, I'm not great at finding traps. Well, I can kind of spot them, but I don't really know how they work, so there's that. Secondly, if whoever the fuck was up there didn't come down here, be careful, this could just be a complete and utter booby trap. So, I will look, but we should be very careful about proceeding, and maybe trying to find a classic long stick solution to our problem. And I'm going to wait. Can we kind of bring in a lot more light into here? Do we have torches? Do we have something that we can use?
I've got a couple torches.
All right, kind of without moving too much, bring them out. Try to give me as much vision as possible, and I'll take a look around.
I'll hand a torch out to each of us.
Okay. So you guys take some torches and light them, using them up. You get very, very good lighting in this area now, and you can see all the detail of these little crates and chests and everything like that.
And kind of taking my left foot and sweeping the ground in a large arch, and then taking 1 step forward and doing the same.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of bring the torch out and looking at my feet, and then looking up again at the walls and the chests and seeing.
Make a investigation check for this room.
Can't be perception.
Yeah, I'll let you do perception.
Hey! Oh
Okay.
yeah, you'll let me do perception? That's a 25.
Okay, nice. As you make your way in here, you go and give like a cursory glance to everything, and then sort of examine everything a little bit better as you get closer towards it. Sweeping along, you're able to get very close, and you actually manage to get right up to the different containers without having any traps sprung on you. In front of you, there's a couple of chests, a couple of crates, some barrels. And now that you're close, you can kind of peer over into some barrels nearby. They appear to be empty. Then you look into another one. It looks like it's filled with spoiled grain, something like that. A sort of off smell, and like the smell of flour comes off from one of them. You go and look in another, and the barrel itself seems to be still closed, and it doesn't budge at all. It's like it's incredibly heavy and must be filled with something. You get over to a crate, and in this crate you find what looks like a bunch of carpentry tools. And then you get over towards a chest, and popping it open, you see that it was once locked, but has been unlocked and ransacked as well. It seems whatever was in here was taken in a hurry. You see a couple pieces of gold coins at the bottom of the chest that have been left, but it's otherwise completely empty. So you can add 4 gold coins to your inventory.
I'll divvy that up. So we're at 6 gold each, by the way, guys, with the reward plus plus this.
And
Making bank.
There's these other items around, like these
I'm only
carpentry
80
tools and things like
gold
that.
behind.
They're kind of heavy and bulky, and there's a reason that they're shipped around in crates and whatnot. You could attempt to take them if you want, but they're definitely not the sort of thing you'd really fit into your backpack so easily.
Anyone else
Right.
want to know what's in that heavy barrel?
Aldrin does.
Yep, that's kind of what I thought. Aldrin, how about we come back here afterwards when we've done the whole cave, very sober manner, and afterwards we can come get this reward, and it can be a kind of a mystery during the whole time. Be fun.
Fine.
Well, you don't have to. You can go open it if
Suppose.
you want. If you're gonna pout,
Maybe just a little peek.
all right.
Yes.
Whet
I
his
mean, like-
curiosity. Come on.
I'm gonna take many steps back.
Okay,
I'm
you get
gonna
a safe
walk
distance.
right up to it.
It looked safe.
I'll walk up with Aldrin.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are standing in front of this this large barrel, and it definitely has something quite heavy in it. As you push on it, it doesn't seem to budge.
Is the barrel taller than me?
That's roughly about your height.
Okay.
I'm gonna go right for the lid and see if I can pull it off.
Oh, interesting. Okay. At the
Your
top
brothers.
here, you don't find that there's any handhold at the lid. They're like, whatever is supposed to open this is probably like a crowbar or something like that. It's not meant to be opened with just your hands.
Are there any crowbars or saws or anything in the carpentry tools?
Oh, yeah, clever. You find a crowbar in one of the crates.
Aldrin, use this.
Aha! Aldrin will take it and attempt to open up the.
Strength check, please, Aldrin.
Please be better than a 1.
Okay.
Aldrin is gonna try
Hand it over.
again.
Is that your second one in a row? How, what are
Yes,
the
it is my
odds of
second
that?
one in a row.
Aldrin, this barrel is roughly about your height as well, and so you awkwardly kind of like wedge the crowbar up into there and then jump up and pull down on it, and as you do, you see that your crowbar pops off at the top there, but doesn't budge the lid a single bit, and perhaps to make matters worse, the large barrel moves back and forth and threatens to fall on your friend here. Lothal, can you make a dexterity saving throw?
God.
Oh my
Fuck
god.
my
almost
curiosity.
Lotho's gonna die now, probably.
Crushed by a barrel.
Oh my god, no.
Oh. God.
Dex?
Yes.
7.
Can I
Okay.
catch it?
Are you close to it, or did you step back?
I didn't step back.
Okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, see if you can get to it in
come
time.
on.
Or a straight dexterity check, actually. What do we got? Oh, that's not bad.
16.
Okay, you quickly lunge over, grabbing the top of this, and then try and stop it from falling on Lotho, who in his attempt to get away has kind of like slipped there, and it's about to fall on his leg. Make a strength check as well, Verth.
Whoops.
That's okay. It's more dramatic this way.
13.
Okay, you're able to grab it and hold it long enough that Lotho's able to scurry away. It's incredibly awkward to hold it horizontally here, but you are able to push it back into its ready position. And from having handled it and moved it, you can tell that whatever's inside of here must be a liquid of some sort.
Aldrin doesn't know that, but he's like super excited.
The
Should I
shit's
make
heavy.
another go for that?
Hand it over.
Okay.
Crowbar.
Aldrin will hand it over.
Shit.
I'll step back.
Alright, you gonna go to open it?
Yeah, I'll try to open it.
A strength
Aldrin's gonna
check if you
stand
would.
right there.
There we go. Okay.
There we go. 20.
Finally, you step over towards it and plunge down the crowbar between the lid and the outside of the barrel, and pop, it flies off, and instantly you see what looks like a frothy pink foam that starts to bubble up from the top here, and it just immediately starts like overflowing from the sides to the top of the barrel here, and the whole room begins to smell like berries.
Aldrin is gonna get right up in that shit.
And I'm backing up.
Okay. You step away and manage to get away with minimal amount of like sticky liquid getting on you. And everybody is kind of a safe distance, but you see Aldrin just kind of runs for it. It's like it's all around him. It's filling the floor. It's going like over his boots and everything, and it's just like all this pink foam coming over here. Aldrin, it tastes awesome. It's
Awesome.
the
Purple
ale.
drank.
The ale here is not nearly as strong as what you're used to, but it has like a very sweet sort of fruity flavor to it that makes you feel like you could just drink it endlessly.
I have a fucking water skin. Ooh. Aldrin's gonna fill up his water skin with it, and then he'll come back for it later because we gotta go search for the rest of the cave.
Oh, you just like plunge your hand into the...
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna go right for it.
Make a
Alright.
dexterity check.
So yeah, you have to actually like, climb up basically onto the side of this barrel because of how large it is, but you do manage to reach your arm inside and plunge your water skin in there. And as you step away with a water skin filled with berry ale, everybody can see that Aldrin, like basically roughly about 60% of his outside is covered in this juice.
I didn't get anything in my beard. Oh wait,
It's
never
all
mind.
over your beard.
That was less exciting than I was expecting.
You didn't try it, so I mean,
Let's go explore the
it's
rest
pretty
of the cave.
good.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
good. Okay. Alright, so you guys are gonna head on back to the main room?
I'll fill my water skin and then, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you let your boots get all sticky and step over, but definitely don't kind of clamber up to the side of the barrel the same way that your shorter friend does. And all of you leaving here, you find yourselves back in this main area. What do you want to do?
Fancy D4 again, guys.
Yep.
Aldrin, there are leaves sticking to your boots and your leg.
One
And
or
my
two
beard.
left.
Uh,
Three or
middle.
four.
Okay. Traveling straight down this one, you find that it opens up into a somewhat more expansive opening, and in here, there appears to be like a dormitory that's been made. You can see bedrolls that lay on the ground, and a little trunk like off towards the side wall there on the left. It's clear that this was a room that people were either staying in or sleeping in, something like that.
Let me know if I can do this. I want to find the most undisturbed beds because I know we killed a few guys up there.
Hmm.
And I want to search to see if they hid anything in the bed or around it.
Oh, yeah, an investigation check, please.
That's gonna be a 6.
6. Okay. You look around and give everything a sort of thorough once over, but you don't find anything tucked away in here other than like the occasional article of clothing. It looks almost as though these people upped and moved in a hurry, and some things were left behind, but nothing important. Like all the main valuables were quickly nabbed up, and like you find a pair of socks, for instance, and what looks like a coif, like a basic hat, that sort of thing.
Are the socks clean?
Yeah, they are.
I'm gonna pick them up.
Sweet, yeah.
Give him to your buddy Aldrin.
Making
I'll
bank.
toss them over to Aldrin.
They stick to
Oh.
his hand.
I'm just gonna put them in like on the bottom of my beard.
Okay.
Gross.
It's a couple of
Storage.
socks hanging off of some mangy dwarf's beard, soaked in alcohol.
Can't take them anywhere.
No,
Aldrin,
you
I
really
bet you
can't.
can climb the wall now. Now that you're all sticky like that, you can climb. You can totally climb that wall.
Ooh.
It's an ale of spider climb.
Who
Do
knows,
it.
man? I don't think there's anything here.
I don't think so either.
Alright.
What about that chest?
Oh, well, we can go take a look.
Okay.
From 10 feet away, I'll bop it with my glaive a little bit.
Okay. As you
If anything goes
do,
on.
the top of it goes click and actually opens up. You can see there's like a sort of strained piece of metal that acts like a spring and kind of pops it open as you jostle this large trunk. Inside of it, you see what looks to be some gear that maybe was forgotten or perhaps too heavy to bring with. You see that there is a great axe that sits inside of this chest, as well as a set of leather armor.
Anything good?
I'll pick them both up and show them.
Okay. Yeah,
Ow.
it's a full set of leather armor, definitely sized for a regular-sized humanoid, and a very impressive-looking great axe. Not something like a museum piece or anything, but it's very sturdy, and it actually looks close to new.
Hey, that thing's got
Would this
your
be
name written
something
all
their
over it.
leader would have used?
Perhaps, who knows? But when you fought him, he had a short sword and a great sword that he wielded.
Mind if I hold on to this?
Of course not. Take it. How nice is the armor?
No use to me.
The armor looks like a sort of worn leather set that has definitely seen a little bit of combat in its days. It's got some nicks and things like that, but it is fully functional. It looks like something that if you sold to a leather worker, he might give you, like 20% of its base price, that kind of thing. But it's definitely pretty worn.
Are there any insignias on the leather? Like these we know were professionals before, like something that would tie it to them.
Oh. Fucking clever.
Looking around, you see that, yes, indeed, there appears to be an insignia on one of the shoulders, but it has been partially damaged and scraped up, perhaps due to a fall or a bad cut, but half of this insignia is missing. And with just its half there, it's kind of difficult to tell exactly what it is. Can you go ahead and roll for me a history check, Firth?
Before he does that, can I try casting a mending cantrip on it?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Fuck.
So-
I'm with a bunch of smart
Yes.
Examining this, you see that Verth is looking at what looks to be some sort of insignia or some sort of like filigree that's been tamped into this leather here. And you take a step over in that direction and touch the armor, and pressing your magic into it, you see as the insignia reforms. You don't need to make a check, Verth. You know exactly what this is. This is a dragonborn insignia here. And you know that this is the symbol that the Coin Clan uses.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Ever heard of the Coin Clan?
Would I have
Don't
heard of the
believe I
Coin
have.
Clan?
only the first time we met you. No, I don't think that. No. Yeah, I don't think so.
Would I know what the Coin Clan is?
Oh, you could roll history as well if you have proficiency.
I do not.
Okay. You can roll straight, or I'll roll straight luck for you right here, actually. Let's see, what do we got?
Okay.
That's a 3. Nope, you have no idea.
It's not opposite day, right?
Indeed not.
All you need to know about them is if you're clanless, clans are pretty important to us Dragonborn. You have 3 options. Either you can be a worthless piece of shit, and
He's not joking.
You're gonna, nothing's gonna
I'm
happen good
laughing
for you.
in character. Okay.
Which nobody wants. Or you can join 2 clans. One of them is the Coin. One of them is the Dark Nines.
Oh, the
Dark
Dark Nine
Knights.
sounds cool.
They're pretty badass, but it's kind of a death wish. The Coins, they're a band of merchants. They kind of stick together to keep each other safe because Kinth is pretty inhospitable. There's a lot of things wanting to eat you, kill you. So,
Right. Okay. Well, we have a lead on our guys, and the only Dragonborn I saw up there was the leader, right?
Indeed.
Fair to say that the leader, being part of the Coin Clan, would be a great way to find bastards. Not that I'm saying that I want to, mind you. I know that Lotho has a great plan. But yeah, just something to think about.
Interesting. Do you choose to
I'll-
take this armor, or are you going to leave it here?
I'll hand it to Carrot.
Oh, do I have to carry it?
I can carry it. I don't. I'll roll my eyes at him.
Fucking half elves.
I'd carry it, but I've got a barrel to tend to.
Okay. And
One passage left.
I kind of start heading back to the center.
Okay, so you're going to go down the final one?
Yep.
Down the very final one, you see a peculiar sight. This changes from being rock wall to dirt, and it peters out fairly swiftly as the light from all of your numerous torches illuminate the area. You can see that this must have been something of a latrine. It smells quite horrible, and the purpose of this room is incredibly obvious. But what's strange is that towards the back wall, you can see that there's an opening in the dirt ceiling, and it appears that there's a ladder that goes up through it.
Shall we ascend?
I'm not going near that.
Aldrin, with a curious look on his face, super interested in going into it, but I feel like you guys are gonna pull me back.
No, no. I out of character. I encourage you to go. I will walk out the front door and try to see if I can meet up with you outside.
All right,
Okay.
Aldrin's gonna do it. He's gonna go for it.
Okay, you step through a room that has been clearly used as a place to shit and make it towards this ladder towards the back end. You have a torch with you, so you can avoid stepping directly in anything, but it's a fairly unpleasant smell, and it drowns out the scent of the berry ale that is currently coating most of your body. You get towards the ladder and place your hand on it, and it just like sticks there, like.
Oh,
And you can tell that all the ale that coats you is getting to that point where it's like just barely liquid, but mostly glue, and then hopefully it'll dry soon.
oh. Aldrin's gonna take the water skin out from his bag
Yep.
and just pour a little bit on his like mustache right beneath his nose.
Okay, yeah, it helps. It
That
helps.
way, so he doesn't smell.
I'm gonna
shit.
follow Aldrin, but I'm gonna druid craft some like potpourri.
Okay.
Dip it underneath.
Druid craft some potpourri. Okay. Yeah, that's badass. That happens. So
yeah.
you make the
Burn some
scent of
sage.
like rose petals and thyme just kind of
Oh,
float
yeah.
throughout the room as you guys make your way over there. Coupled with the scent of the berries, it's a very stark contrast between what you smell and what you can see all around you. You're now on the ladder, both of you, and are you gonna go up?
Who's ahead? Probably Aldrin.
Yeah, I'll go up.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
So you guys start to ascend the ladder, and it doesn't take very long before you get towards the top. This cave must not be too deep below ground, and it ends with a trap door, but with a quick press, Aldrin, you can see it's just a little plank of wood underneath a patch of dirt, and you find yourself back outside. The last couple hours of the daylight kind of disappearing off into the horizon. You can see all the forest trees around you and the bushes and everything.
I'm gonna climb out of the hole and stand on the ground and just look around a little bit
Yeah, it looks
and
nice.
wait for Lotho to come up.
Okay, you make it up, Lotho.
Take in the view.
What do we see?
It looks just like the forest. You've made it out there. You can see off in the distance what appears to be the cave opening, and for a brief moment it seems like there's nothing there, and then Carrick kind of steps out in that direction. You can see him ever so faintly from beyond the bushes that sort of cover you here.
Are there any? I probably can't see. Are there any like tracks or anything around?
Oh.
Like an indication that they might have exited this way or?
Survival
Been a
check,
while.
please, my friend.
Right. That
quite good.
is a 16.
Okay, looking around, you can see that there are quite a few sets of tracks here, and this must have been a heavily used escape path, at least somewhat recently. There's a bunch of steps. Most of them head off towards the cave entrance.
Head off and join the rest.
Okay, so you guys all meet up just slightly outside of the cave. It looks like you maybe have like an hour left of daylight.
I'm gonna smell my armor and make sure it's still pristine.
For a second, you think that you still smell the flecks of shit from the previous room, and then it vanishes, and the sort of cold autumn air seems to help, and you smell like a grubby adventurer.
Well, that can't do. Lotho,
Yeah.
hand them over.
Huh?
Hand them over.
Alright.
I take the potpourri and I just kind of rub it into the shoulders of my wolf hair and kind of just give them back. Be like, okay, here you go.
I don't
done
need
with
it
it now.
anymore.
Well, no, I mean, I don't. You take it. I don't know what druids do. Is it cool for me to just throw them on the ground?
Can I take a handful?
Sure, yeah.
I'd like to toss it on the sticky dwarf.
Okay.
Good call.
Twigs,
I'll druid
flowers,
cast
some more
seeds, the
and
whole
throw it.
bit. Just stick to him instantly.
Most productive D&D night ever.
By now, the berries are
I'll
starting to
get the
change their
Christmas
smell
tree.
a little bit, and it's starting to get a little bit gross and less pleasant. And you can see that not only does he have these flowers and little twigs that you've thrown at him, but so too hangs a pair of socks from the bottom of his beard.
I forgot about the socks.
And just the
I'm like a
stickiness.
Christmas tree.
Oh, you must be so
Gross.
fucking disgusting. I'm gonna just look at him and kind of cringe, and just wide berth. Take a few steps around and be like, "All right, Otho, you said you were gonna be our guide on this one. Do we want to rest and wait for daylight? Do we just want to kind of start roaming for blights?"
Well, I mean, it seems okay right now, so why don't we take a rest?
Sounds good.
Are you getting a long rest or a short rest?
For daylight, right? I guess
Yeah.
that's what we're waiting for.
Yeah, you want to wait till the next day? Okay. So we go for a long rest. Otho, I would like you to go ahead and make for me a wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the
13.
best. 13. Okay.
No. 12. Was the modifier? Let's. Nope, I was right.
Right.
13. Sorry.
You find that the dreams come back to you once again. Everybody gets a good night's rest, but for you, things are troublesome. At least this time, they're not as chaotic as the visions come towards you. You find yourself standing seemingly in nothingness, floating there in the air, the blue sky directly above, below, your left towards your right. And in front of you floats an incredibly large hourglass. The hourglass is completely filled at the bottom, and then it turns over, and sand begins to fall from it to fill the bottom half there. And as you blink, you suddenly realize that the bottom is filled once again. There is no time left, and you wake up. This time, when you wake, it appears that it's pretty early in the night, and Verth, you're doing the first watch there and see him nearby. Lotho wakes up in a cold sweat.
You alright?
Been better.
Here, and I'll toss him my water skin with the ale in it.
Take a healthy drink.
Okay. It tastes really good and kind of takes your mind off of things.
Thanks. Pass it back.
Something on your mind?
Some weird dreams. I don't really know what to make of them.
Care to
You know,
elaborate?
how much do you know about Eridan?
I'll give him a blank stare.
Don't worry about it. Maybe I'll get some clarity somewhere.
Perhaps if you just talk about it, would clear your mind.
Alright. So the other night, I was startled awake, I guess. I had this weird dream. I was in like this desert. I watched all these like brown robed figures walking up on over a hill. They just kept disappearing. And some guy turns to me and tells me, "Need to gather at the torch. That all material concern hangs on an autumn wind," something like that. I mean, the only pieces that I could put together is that it has something to do with Eridan. That we're like right on the end of autumn.
Hold on. You remember that eagle?
Yeah.
Didn't he say something? Find the shroud in the desert. Something like that.
Did he? Not even paying much attention.
I believe so.
To look into.
Perhaps when the others wake up, you can enlighten them.
Yeah.
They might have more to say.
Yeah. The eagle seemed to have some sort of connection with Carrick. Probably should have talked to him the other night, but I was a little out of it. Alright.
Get some
Thanks.
rest.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head back off to sleep. And Berth, do you do anything as you watch Lotho kind of like roll back up in his bedroll?
I'm gonna divert my attention 80% to my glaive, percent to my surroundings.
Good call.
Sounds
Good
good.
call. It's the perfect ratio.
Okay. You do a standard 80-20, and everybody wakes up the next day. What do you want to do? Where are you headed? What are you doing?
Well, Lotho, you have a druid compass or something?
Not really. I mean, maybe. You know, I think it'd be a good idea to see if we can find some, like, priest of Eridan, or maybe even, like, a paladin. Somebody who knows their stuff as far as he's concerned. Because I think the eagle was a messenger of Eridan's.
That's true.
So
But
maybe
every
somebody...
every temple we've come across is just empty. Not sure why. Not sure if that's typical of Eridan. But I think it's a good start. I mean, if we can find someone who's already knowledgeable about the blights, that'll definitely have us heading in the right direction.
What about... what was it? Weed Gothica?
Ah, Wood Gothica off in the distance there. Oh, it's quite a trek. What about it?
I knew we knew... Well, actually, Carrick knew some about it. How much did we learn about it?
Oh, you had briefly stopped by an Oberkhan and asked about the great city. And I believe a young man had told you that that was kind of like the central city of Yargalek, and that you could find pretty much whatever you were looking for there, and that Oberkhan was kind of like a small town in comparison. But I don't think that you picked up too much. Like, you guys never
Yeah.
actually visited or anything like that.
No.
I remember the most vivid bit of that was the young man also told you there was an enchanted woods across the river, and you all said nope.
Yeah.
Are there any other cities near us now? A bit closer.
I can take out my map.
Springtown is very close to you, and you've been there a couple times
Besides
now.
there.
Besides there. You also know that
Hi.
Pine's Edge is about roughly 2 days down towards the south. Dio's Outpost, another few days. And towards the north, you can find the city of Longfield.
Citadel.
Being a dragonborn from the lands of Kinth, kind of here on a, not a whim, but with not as much preparation as some might want, you don't know anything about these cities.
I don't know if anybody else. I'm from Bavaria. Or Sky.
Does anyone have proficiency in history?
Nope. I don't think so.
A lot of nope. Okay.
I mean, I've got
Nope.
I've got proficiency in religion. Would I know any, like, I don't know, areas where there might be like a really
Oh. Yeah, go ahead and
Like
roll
a
a
base
religion
of
check for me.
operations.
I'll tell you if anything comes to mind.
um 13 again.
Okay. There's one thing that you know about Freehold as far as religious matters go. You know that the city of Ilos across the lake there, is somewhat famous and is a theocracy. It's run by the church itself, and it is a place where there is a famous sort of grandiose temple that hangs on the lake, though it is not a temple to Eridan. You can't quite remember to whom it was, but you know that it's a holy city for one god.
I love these long pauses that we have.
Uh,
Sometimes it's tough to choose what you're doing, right? You know, it's not always easy.
Yeah, I agree.
Eric's just kind of looking at his sword. Waiting.
I don't know where the fuck we are, guys, so you guys can take the lead.
but it seemed like the past been kind of like troublesome for us. Like back in Emel's Basket, it was
Right.
some
That's
really
true.
nasty dark forest that nobody wanted to go near. And I mean, it was the same here to a degree. I think nobody
Well-
really was interested in exploring the woods up here.
That's true, but if our only criteria was
Yeah.
that people don't want to explore, might find ourselves
I don't know if
facing a
we
lot of
have.
ghost stories as well.
I don't know if we have a whole lot of enough information to just like go trekking out on our own.
Loso,
Not re- Well,
Yeah.
what about this desert?
right. The eagle did mention that, by the way. Head south into the desert, and I think, remember the forest that we were warned not to go into, southwest from here?
The jungle.
The jungle that is waging war on both sides and causing disappearances. Well, you just mentioned woods that are behaving strangely, and the
True.
eagle is telling us to go to the desert. I mean, could be a place to start, although sounds incredibly dangerous, but I'm down for anything really.
Yeah, I would actually
Mm-hmm.
have a strong pull towards the desert that you mention it.
How about we just
Interesting.
start making our way down there, and we can always change our direction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
on the
stop
way.
by towns, we'll ask
Just say-
around,
Check for rumors or something.
and maybe we'll come across a paladin in the road or a cleric.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or what?
So you pick a general direction, and the group is off down towards the south. And before we do any of that, let us all take a quick break, as I've had far too much coffee. And
Nice.
we shall all readjourn in about 5 or 10 minutes. We'll see you all in a sec.
So I guess we take the road south to Dio's outpost,
Yeah.
through Zarencia, through Havez, which I think is a
Go
main
through the
capital,
forest of death.
through Havez, and then into Aurelium,
Alright, be right back.
which is where my papa lives.
We're
No,
gonna go visit Carrick's papa.
wait, no, that's where he slept with my
Oh.
mom. He moved back to where the High Elves live.
Damn. I was gonna get that guy drunk and then learn about baby stories about Carrick.
He's a dick last I checked, so.
Oh.
I need to ask Aleutian which path I took up from Kint.
Oh.
Holy
I don't
shit.
think I would have
Yeah.
come straight through the desert.
Oh, you know what's funny though? You know how I've been like going with only like 20 health for such a long time?
I don't know how, but yeah.
I learned that I didn't put in my health I didn't put 9 health into my
I told you. I thought it
know
was
that.
so bizarre
God
because I was like, dude, I have more health than you. How is that possible? I have 23 health. And then you
I-
said, well, I got crippled because I died last time. I was like, okay, and then I just
Yeah, that's what
accepted
I
it
was
as
thinking.
fact.
But I was like, Mike and I were going over my character sheet, and I was like, why am I such low health? And then we realized that after level 3, it didn't update my health because I've messed with the stats on the page, so it doesn't update my health, so I have to automatically do it myself.
So, well, it's not 9, right?
Oh no,
It-
I get plus my constitution, so it's 6 plus constitution, so I get 9.
Are we rolling for hit points, or are we just taking the average?
I roll.
Oh, you can do whatever.
Yeah, I
'Cause you can
roll.
do
I have
whatever
gotten
you
some
want.
nice rolls. But is it 6? Because it's a 1d8. The average of
Yeah.
1d8 is 9. It's 5, actually, not
it-
6.
If I hold my cursor over it, it says, all right. So total maximum hit points will average to a maximum first level equals 3d10 21 plus 3 times 3 from Constitution 9. So my total HP would be average HP would be 30. Using fixed values, it would be 31, and then if I were to use just use the dies, I
the-
could get up to 39 at maximum HP.
In the player's handbook, because the way you normally calculate d8s, and I'm not saying you're wrong, I just want to make sure that I'm doing it right, because what you're normally supposed to do is you add both, right? So if it's a 1d8,
Yeah.
you do 8 plus 1 is 9. You half it, so it's 4.5, and you round up, so 5. So the average
yeah.
of a d8 should be 5 plus your constitution modifier should be 8 total, not 9.
Yeah,
So let me
yeah.
see here.
I don't know. I'm actually
Oh
using
no,
the-
you're a 1d10. You're not a d8. That's right. That's why
yeah.
it's a higher. So it's 11. So 6 plus 3 is 9. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Cool,
you're
so we're not
100% right.
messing
I don't
that
know
up
why
then.
fighters had a d8. Fuck. I don't know why I thought that.
I don't know. This is the first time I'm playing, so. Well, this is not the first. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Your first character. It's
Yeah.
tough, man. Like I've gotten to a point now because I figured that the easiest way to learn was to just dive head first. So I've made probably dozens and dozens of character sheets just to get used to it and kind of know what the math is and what to do where. So now I can literally, it's kind of fun actually, with a pen and paper, I can just make characters and I don't need a handbook, I don't need a PDF, and it's kind of fun to be able to do that.
I was actually
highly
gonna taunt you guys
recommend
about
it.
helping me with another character.
Oh,
Or if you have the
100%,
the
man.
character sheet that you can send to the thing. Because
Oh,
I
do
was
you want
going through and I was
the
erasing all the stats of Aldrin and then saving a new one. And I was like, yeah, this is way too much work. Because it was just doing fighter ranger, like 2 archetype classes.
It was
And I was
like
like,
it was
yeah, this is not
multi-classing
working.
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
multi-classing on it's more purple, more better's character sheet. So if you go to DM's guilds, I can get it for you right now, but
All right. DM kills. Okay. Here,
Yeah,
hold
so you
on a
go
second.
to-
I gotta run to the bathroom though, real quickly.
That's probably a good idea.
All right, I'll be back in a moment. And then
Alicia,
we can continue on.
I've got a question for you.
For sure. What's up?
When I came up from Kinth, which
Ah.
path would I have taken?
When you came up from Kinth. That is up to you. So looking at the map here, you can see that there's kind of 2 main ways, either through Gian or through Seba. That's your decision. Now, I can tell you that Verminev, the plateau that you were near, is roughly around here. That's where your clan would be. There's another one over in this direction, and there's another one further down here. So for you, like, the shortest route would be through Gian, but maybe you wanted to go in the opposite direction, who knows?
I probably would have gone through Gian then.
Okay. So, yeah, you would have traveled up and probably gotten to the road here and made your way, let's see. That's a bit obtuse to get to Nestock. Perhaps on here, I don't know if you want to go through Baccaral or through Roche, or you could have taken a ferry ride across to Innenbar. I mean, it's all up to you.
Learning that Sparky was in Freehold, or like the word of it, I probably would have taken the short path.
Okay, yeah, probably going through Roche then, and then just going directly over to Freehold.
Alright.
I think our dwarven friend is off in the bathroom. So what are you guys thinking right now?
I'm really confused. Looking through my spells, seeing if anything might help me. No.
What kind of confusion?
Oh, trying to figure out what all this means. I totally forgot about the Shroud in the Desert thing. I didn't write that down at all. Weird.
Wait.
Unless I wrote it down.
Hey, Aldrin. Oh, still gone.
Here.
Where do I know this song from, Illusion?
Probably a lot of things.
I love this song.
Why you gotta be so rude?
I think it's called Gymnopédie or Gymnopédie. I don't know how you'd want to pronounce it. I'm almost.
Gymnopédie. I like that one.
I'm pretty sure it was a Frenchman that had something to do with it, but who knows?
A Gymnopédie. Like,
That's the one.
Definitely bring it.
can't wait to try my French sassy bard.
Sassy French bard. You think Carrick's days are numbered?
Nah, I hope Carrick lives.
No
a
more
long,
Australian
fruitful life.
rogue.
I don't know what the accent is. Sometimes it's
It seems
British.
to switch.
Sometimes it's Australian. I'm just having fun with it.
That's the way to do it.
I entertain the idea of giving Lotho an accent, mostly because he just keeps getting just confused with Aldrin all the time.
Ugh, my first character was a very, very fucking Scottish dwarf paladin.
Yeah.
That was a fun accent.
You ever seen the episode of Critical Role where they have from Nerdist Chris Hartwick on?
What? You cut out there, sorry.
Yeah, have you seen the episode of Critical Role where they have Chris Hartwick? Plays the blue dragonborn Gurren Blanston.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the accent I would love to do. Do Aldrin and I really sound that similar?
No, not really.
Okay.
I don't think so. By the way, I told Will, Sparky, that we're heading to the desert, and he's pretty pissed off. It's pretty funny.
Oh, why is
He's like,
that?
no, not cool.
Why can't you go to the desert?
Does
Can't
he
have
know
two-
something we don't?
Well, his group is currently having desert shenanigans.
Yay! So don't you have a gnome to kill down there or something?
Yeah.
It's
I don't
looking,
know he's there, but
It's looking a bit rough over there. Yeah, we'll
Wait,
see.
which
That
group
would
is
be
this?
Interesting.
Thursday's group.
Yeah.
Oh, Thursday.
Ghost Watch.
If you guys
Oh,
tune in
okay, yeah.
tomorrow, there's a. Well, it's yeah.
Was there a character death recently in one of the sessions? I was looking through the party info and it looked like something changed.
In Monday's group, a character went missing, I guess. Like, disappeared. So there's a new one there.
What?
The last character death, as in, like, somebody straight up died, was... Oh, I think it was the 2 deaths during that Tuesday campaign. I think Mithrimbor and Bit were the last 2 that died. I think. think. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so Mithranbor left Monday's group and then went to another group and then died.
Yes, absolutely.
And Damien, who played with us before, right?
Yes.
As
As Kaz.
Phineas.
He's missing now and he's playing a new character.
Yes, Casimir is somewhere off in the world doing something. Damien, his Monday character, has left, and I can tell you after session what went on with that one if you'd like.
Sure, yeah.
Everybody's here and good to go?
Mhm.
I ended up
Alright.
making myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because I know
Go.
you guys were talking about it earlier. But
Good call. I'm out of harp though. That's a sad day.
It's time for rum then. Alright, guys. So. Oh. Wait, hold on. Someone went down the stairs, so my internet has died.
oh,
Yeah, it's a regular thing.
What?
really?
Nobody knows why it happens. Everybody
Interesting.
tells me that I'm crazy, but yet I hear somebody going down the stairs, and there goes the internet. So yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Terrified.
Actually, give me 2 seconds here. I'll be right back. So, sorry to pull
Okay.
another break. It'll just be like 1 minute.
The fucking ring girl lives in our team speak now. God damn it. Ah!
Now, sad I couldn't watch Mondays or Tuesday night sessions.
I thought about watching Mondays, and then I
There
was
we
like, Arc.
I thought I had heard a crash. I didn't want to like die in a house fire.
Oh, okay, that's a good call.
Here we go.
Remember me as he plays out the last bit of the session.
Rocks fall, you all die. Goodbye. All right, good night, folks. So let's see. So you've all kind of spoken about this strange little bit here with the eagle and ruminations of Lotho's mind. Although Lotho, you have selectively only kind of given some info here to Verth. And while you guys are all pondering this, you eventually decide to travel down to the desert. You try to travel down south.
And I think the path we were discussing, let me know, guys, if you're down with this. But I figured we go down the main road through Pine's Edge, Dio's, through Zorencia, sweep
Mhm.
through Havez, and then head to the forest.
Are we going to the forest or the desert?
Well, the forest. I don't know if the desert is Baccaral or the Badlands, but I figured if we're going to the forest, we might find out if there's blight there first of all, and it's on the way to the desert, kind
Okay.
of.
Interesting. So you would know from growing up here in Skyfall that the Badlands is not a desert so much as it's like a tundra where nothing grows.
Oh, okay.
There was a famous war that happened there a long time ago, a very sort of triumphant but simultaneously grim moment in humanity's history, where the elves attacked a second time and you guys beat them back, but the combat and the scale was so intense it left the land scarred forever, and now nothing grows there. So many people died on those plains. Baccaral, however, this yellowish area, that is a proper desert.
Okay.
So you're going to travel down into Zorencia and then over towards there. Now, you guys had all... I think you had all read the Chronicle where they had mentioned that no one had gotten
Yeah.
out of there alive. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're
That's
traveling
kind
along.
of why we're going, because we figure it's a forest that's trippy and
Right.
maybe blighted. Although, who knows? We
That
might
might be
just
like
get
the
it.
Uber blight.
Exactly. It's
The,
like
the over blight.
Aleutian's like, that was supposed to be 3 years from now. Like, god damn it.
Oh, if that's where we're going, that's where we're going. So where's your first stop gonna be? Dio's Outpost? Or are you gonna just pass straight by that town, or like, what's up?
What do you think, guys? I figure we shouldn't just hop into a new province without kind of getting the 411 on what's going
Yeah.
on there, right?
Good call. Yeah.
Again,
What about
Outpost is
finding a
gonna know
temple,
some
too?
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. A temple. So, like, going through these cities, we want to spot temples or any, like, Erudin religious folk.
Yeah.
Maybe talk to people on the road, see if they've heard of anything about weird blighted forests. I mean, at the end of the day, we're just looking for a blighted forest, and we want to head down to the desert at the same time, right? So we don't necessarily have to go to Aurelium. If we
Okay.
hear about something in like Roche or Jian, then maybe we want to head there instead.
So your travel takes you down along here, and let's see. A single day in, you get towards here. Lotho, you finally get an evening where you don't have any sort of strange dreams. And off towards the right hand of the path here, you can see that there is a small little road which will eventually, after a few hours, lead to the city of Pine's Edge. Do you want to go there, or are you going to continue going straight?
How big is Pine's Edge?
Oh, you have no
We're
idea.
like a village.
The map
We
doesn't say.
We can't see it from where we are.
No, like it's like, you know, hours winding through the woods and everything.
Okay, well, I'm assuming it's not that big.
Kind of out of the way.
What do you guys think? Should we go? I've honestly kind of been disappointed with the last few towns that we've been in. They've been small.
Yeah.
What are they going on?
Towns
Um,
aren't really my forte anyway.
Right.
They just end up getting arrested or hated.
Yeah. It's true.
Said the
both.
gnome whisperers. Okay, so you pass it up.
Yeah.
And another 2 days go by as you travel along before eventually getting towards Dio's outpost. You can see the city as you leave the forest and make your way towards the plains ahead, and there, just a few hours away from the forest, sits this grandiose city. Springtown was pretty small, a village more so than anything. Perhaps 1,000 people lived there, but here, Dio's Outpost seems like a proper city. More than 10,000 people must call this place home. It's fairly large, and you can see that the place itself has proper fortifications around it, large stone walls, something that you haven't seen in a little bit. You can also see that there's like crenellations along the top, and guards kind of walk here and there as well. You're now standing outside, just a minute or two away from the main gate, where there's a couple of guard, and it looks like the gates are open. And you've seen a couple travelers on the road here and there during your trip down towards the south, and you can see as a couple of guards are currently speaking with somebody who seems to be a caravan owner. And they have a chit-chat, exchange some papers, and then eventually he heads on into the city, and you guys are coming up next.
I kind of just slowly take a few steps back, putting someone else in front of me.
Interesting. Okay. Who's this someone, I guess?
I'll walk towards the front.
I'm
Okay.
not good with words.
Alright.
I'm
The
nearly
guards
there,
see
but
you
we'll see what
approaching,
happens.
and they look towards you, Lotho, as you kind of take the front end of the group here. One of the guards says, "Good day, traveler.
Hello.
What's your business in Dio's Outpost?"
Searching for a temple to Eridan.
Strange. Find nothing like that here.
Then simply passage to Zarencia.
Fair enough. What business do you have across the border? And you see, he says this to you, but then he kind of looks over your group, and his gaze, drifts from your different party members, but pauses specifically for an extra second on Carrick here, and then
God
turns
damn
back
it.
towards you.
Well, you see, sir, I
We're
I'm
searching
a
for a
druid.
temple.
if you can't tell from my garb, I am of the druidic practices, and I grew up on a small farm in eastern Novaria, and I have never seen a desert before, let alone any of its inhabitants. So I
He
am
raises
just
an eyebrow.
thrilled. Basically just a sightseeing safari.
And these are your...
Bodyguards. See, I'm very small.
Bodyguard.
Can't just go walking around.
He looks over at you other three. Carrick here with his fancy dress, Verth with his bulging muscles, and Aldrin, the worst smelling dwarf of all time.
Does he still potpourri?
Well, yeah, but he's got like it's if you had stale beer poured on a guy and then put potpourri on him, you don't end up with something good on the other side.
It's like for breathing shit. It just makes it worse somehow.
Without
I assume
looking
you've
up-
removed the socks, but unless you could shower him,
Without looking,
No,
I'll
the
throw a thumb
socks
to
are still
Aldrin.
there.
Say he's particularly effective.
interesting. Go ahead and make for me a deception roll, but do so with advantage.
I don't see any lie. Well, besides the whole bit about the desert. So
That's
everything.
100% true. I want to be a giant scorpion. Let's see. 1. Now, would that count towards my reroll?
Well, no, because you take
Okay.
advantage, so you
Oh, that's
take
right.
the 11
that
that you
doesn't
got.
matter. But all right. Let's see. So that was an 11.
Yep.
Minus 1 for 10.
Classy.
Okay, all right. So, he pauses
God.
for a second, and he believes you. He takes a moment to kind of look at the rest of the group, and then says, "Fine. Well, make sure you wash your friend if you're going to be in town for more than a day. Don't cause any trouble in the outpost." And he kind of steps out of the way so you can enter the city.
Thank you, sir. And I'll head in.
Okay.
I'll follow his lead.
Dio's outpost is impressive, and the first thing that you notice as you step inside of the town is that directly in front of the guard sort of station here at the gate, there is a large faction office for one of the famous factions here in Skyfall, and perhaps the least liked, the Mace Legion, a group of mercenaries that really care nothing about anything other than getting paid. And you can see that it is a very, very substantial, like, 3-story building compared to a lot of the other sort of houses around it here. They definitely have some money, or perhaps inherited something quite nice. And the roads proceed further down. You can see, like, inns and little street stalls and things like that, and it's fairly busy in here. It's quite a few people wandering about doing all their business. What do you guys want to do?
Second, we're at an earshot of the guard.
Okay, yeah, for sure. You walk away from them.
Holy shit, guys! I can't believe that worked.
I had complete and utter faith in you, Lotho.
That makes one of us. What do we want to do?
Well, half, but yeah.
Okay, half of us. Whatever.
What to do? Well, I figured, and this is just my kind of thoughts on it. We need some info about Zarencia. We need some info about Blighted Forests. We want some info about Eridan in general. And we want to know how severe the situation in Aurelium is, which might honestly be better found in Zarencia in terms of information. But we might as well ask here as well. Anything else?
Wouldn't hurt to preemptively find some gear for the desert if we're heading that way.
Yeah, that's smart.
What do you mean my armor isn't good enough?
Yep, that's exactly what he means.
Right. Well,
You need to look a lot more like me.
I think
Aldrin pumps
we'll
out his
need
chest as his socks hang
to
down.
ditch the alcohol and kind of store up on water, right?
Says you. Alcohol is much better. But I could go
Right.
for some water.
Right. I might dip you in the fucking lake. But yeah, might fix the smell. Might pollute the lake. Who knows?
I would love to go
50-50
for a
chance
swim.
at that point. Alright, well, where do we gather info? Do we want to hit up an inn again? I mean, kind of played out, right? That's what we do every time. Maybe we can get more luck doing something else.
Interesting. You do notice that something catches your eye, and having been so stuck in and out of time, given your strange sort of, well, condition, let's say, you see what looks to be preparations for the first of winter, the winter festival. Off down the street, you see somebody with a banner that they're currently dragging between two buildings, and you can see that everyone's kind of a little bit more lively than usual. It seems that the switching of the season is coming up. You all know that it's a common practice among not only humans, but many of the other races as well, to celebrate the first day of the season. It seems like everybody is gearing up for that.
Okay, so 94th.
Can I stop a passerby?
Yeah, sure. You can see there's a woman walking by. She's got like a basket full of apples, and she kind of looks over as you call to her.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Pardon. When's the festival?
Tomorrow, silly. Here, you can take one. It's a little early, but there you are. And she hands you an apple from the basket.
I'll shoot her a wink.
Nice lady.
You'll shoot
And
her a wink.
I'll say thanks.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make for me a persuasion roll, or no, just straight charisma. Why don't we?
Wag roll.
Swag roll. Oh, okay. Well,
Sorry.
Ooh.
is that a positive or negative modifier?
I believe it's even. Let me check.
Okay, all right. You give
Yeah,
her
it's
a
even.
wink, and she heads off down the street.
Shot down.
Goes to the nearby local authorities.
That dragonborn sexually assaulted me with a wink.
It was very suggestive. I'm very flustered.
No, come on,
Guys,
this is like 1200, not 2017.
Would that make
Winter-
it the 100th of autumn? Or would it be the 99th of autumn? And then it...
Oh, if the festival was tomorrow, then this would be
Yeah.
the 100th of autumn.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I was trying to figure out. It was the 94th when we left Springtown.
Yeah.
We stayed overnight, 95th, and then I don't know how much time we spent traveling down south.
We spent 3 days traveling.
So we're either it's tomorrow or the day
skipped
after that.
again.
No, we didn't skip.
And we left on the 90th.
Well, we skipped from 74 to 94,
Yep.
and then
Yeah.
from then on into going to the cavern, sleeping there, and then coming down. It's
Right,
been
we
a
did
few
do
days.
some of that stuff.
Right, yeah, so it's either the 98th or the 99th.
Oh, I
Guys.
meant to ask during the break. Sorry, how much time do we have tonight?
An
I don't want to screw anybody here. Just forget.
An hour and a half for me.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. Okay, sounds good. All right, continue. Sorry.
Okay. Can we start earlier? Is everyone like fixed on the 8:30 thing? By the
I'm
way.
super cool with that, but I needed you guys to be as well. So
as long as I have a heads up beforehand.
Yeah, that would be
Mm.
fine with me.
Is it something that we can do consistently? I mean.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
not just for the next session.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if you guys want to move it closer, normally people do it 4 p.m. PST. You guys do it 5:30 PST. But I can go literally anytime. If you guys wanted to start at like 12 o'clock at noon, like that could be a thing.
I work on Friday, but I get back on 3:30 Pacific Standard, and then I walk my dog. I take care of my shit. I could be ready by 7.
Yeah. Here, how about we play this out, and then we'll
Yeah.
stop a little bit earlier than 9, which is an hour and a half from now, and then we'll talk schedule and see if maybe we can optimize and squeeze in some more playtime.
Sounds good.
All right.
Guys, do you mind if we stay for a day? I have sort of an affinity for winter. It's my favorite.
Oh.
I'll
All right.
agree. I'm from a mountain. I do not know what winter.
Well, more time to get some information. That's
Yeah.
all right by me.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's see what this town has. Maybe we can enjoy the festivities.
Right. So I have my own little checklist of things to do. Did you guys have anything in mind while we were here?
I'm gonna go find a lake. I mean, you guys probably know what that's
Good
about. But,
call.
Well,
If
I mean, I honestly don't mind walking around like this. I enjoy these socks in my beard, but
oh god,
hey, I know you like it too. I see you peeking
Your-
over you.
your
jealous
boots are still
bastard.
flecked in shit, man.
I'll point to an inn and say, "How about we go our separate ways and meet there at nightfall?"
Sure.
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Let's see here.
Shopping list time, baby.
Okay. You guys see what looks like an inn nearby that is simply named the War Pick. And this appears to be a fairly popular place close to the northern gate that you've all come in through. And you all resolve to meet up back there. So, it seems, Carrick, you've got a good idea what you want to do here. I have concern, seeing as how whenever the rogue says he's got a checklist, that could be an interesting endeavor. What do you want to do?
No shopping since I'm broke as fuck.
Right.
You
You could sell Reza.
Fuck you. I'll start with the easy stuff, which is Temple to Eridan.
Oh, okay.
While I know he mentioned there's no temple really, what I mean to say is a religious institution of any kind that might have an altar to Eridan.
Interesting. Okay. Are you going to ask around or just look, like not trying to talk to anybody?
Oh, I'm going to use my charming wiles to try
Okay.
to find it. It'll make it easier.
Yeah, go ahead and make a straight persuasion roll, and let's see what kind of info you manage to pull from the people on the street of Dio's outpost.
All right, Carrick, aka Panty Dropper.
Ooh, damn.
Oh, that would have been good, and now it is not. 13.
13. Okay. You come off as a pretty pleasant traveler, but you don't really, manage to get too buddy-buddy with anybody. They do, however, give you some interesting information. It seems that while Dio's outpost does not have a temple to Eridan, someone also tells you that, much like the rest of Zorencia down towards the south, that there's just no altars like that. It's not illegal, but most people don't worship Eridan in these parts.
Okay.
So it seems that finding a temple like that here, specifically, you're going to be out of luck, or if there is one, no one knows about it. And down towards Zorencia, you'll probably run into a similar problem. And you get one person who mentions something about druids not being the most liked kind over in Zorencia, and that they have a bit of a troubled history with them. But when you try and ply this person for info, they just say, "Nah, I've got things to do," and they head off.
Okay. How about any religious institute?
You do
Goodbye.
find some, absolutely. You find, let's see here. There does appear to be a couple. You see some altars laying about town, and you also see a couple of proper temples. Now, you don't have proficiency in religion, do you?
I do not.
Do not. Okay. Are you looking for a specific one other than Eridan? Just any?
The biggest, baddest one I can
The
find.
biggest, baddest. Okay, the most obvious one. All right.
What are you doing?
There we go. You find what appears to be an incredibly large temple to Metri. And you don't know who this god is. The sign outside makes it blatantly clear, but you're not actually sure what his domain is, or what he does, what he's about, etc.
Okay.
It's
I
quite
walk
large
in.
and impressive. Sorry, continue.
No, it's okay. I walk in.
As you step inside, you can see that there are quite a few priests that wander about, and some members of the populace as well, who seem to be solemnly in prayer. It's not like you're interrupting a practice. Everybody seems to be doing their own thing. And a priest takes a step over in your direction. You can see he has a holy symbol around his neck, which looks like a pair of chain links attached to a much sort of nicer looking string necklace there. And the chain links are just like two bland pieces of iron looped around one another. He looks over at you and he says, "Yes? Did you have a question, a prayer to make?"
Maybe not a prayer, but I was looking for some guidance.
I might be able to offer that.
And I'll kind of take a seat. Look, I don't pray to the god of this temple. But as a religious man, I figured you might be able to help me.
How do you? Oh, this is a loaded question. Well, look, I've gotten a very direct kind of request from a god asking me to do something. And it's been not only through signs but through avatars of this god himself. And it's been very unclear, very cryptic, and I can't reach him for some reason. What are your suggestions? How do we reach the gods that seem to seem to have interest in us?
Gods are creatures of strange ways. Depending on who you have, it might be quite straightforward, and if it's not straightforward, it might be more difficult than you can imagine. Do you know what god this is?
I do, and oddly enough, it's a god I've never... Well, I mean, I've heard of him, but never prayed to him before. Erudin.
Oh. He kind of looks about the temple for a second and turns back to you, and he says, speak in quieter tones about Erudin around here.
Oh, and I kind of give him a genuine look of like concern and like I didn't want to insult or anything like that.
Okay, he seems to pick up that you're being respectful and kind of, he gives you a little bit more info. He says, Erudin's followers, the Druids, some of them can be very disruptive. The land of Zorencia is more concerned with contract and business, coin and the like, not trees and flowers.
And the kind of frivolous activities of a druid, I can sympathize.
Yes, of course. I myself think that a more rounded approach to studying the gods would be better, but it seems the people here have little want for him.
Of course. Now,
he's contacted you in some way. I must confess I don't know exactly what it is that I would do. I would make prayers to him. Perhaps some clarity will come from that. Or you could look to another god for guidance.
another god. You see, the only god, or goddess rather, I've ever looked towards isn't even one I know exists or not. I haven't really studied religion, but luck. It's always kind of been my guiding star, if you will, and I don't think he or she is one that I can speak to. It's more of a coin flip, if anything.
It's true that the goddess Ea can be found mostly in gambling and coin flips, but I have heard that people have managed to speak with her.
Ea is her name.
Indeed.
Okay, well, I don't want to take too much of your time, and I don't want to be a bother. I know it's somewhat stigmatized, so I'll let you go, but thank you so much for your help.
Of course. And he kind of gives you a bow and then steps away.
Cool.
So, as you head out of the temple, let's cut to somebody else. Who else has business that they know clearly what it is that they want to do?
Got a pretty good idea.
Yeah, what's up?
Alright, so, I want to see if I can find something like, along the lines of like a fortune teller.
Oh,
Or...
okay.
Nice.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds here. Fortune teller. Okay, this is gonna be
something
good.
along those lines, basically.
Now, how are you finding this fortune teller? Are you gonna trust your gut? Are you gonna look around? You gonna ask people? What's up?
I will try to ask people.
Okay. Let's see. Go ahead and roll persuasion. Okay.
Solid 3.
Solid 3.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Not only do you not manage to get any info from people, but they seem to think that you're like a little bit off your rock, and no one points you towards a fortune teller. You don't know if that just means that maybe you rub people the wrong way, or if there just isn't one in the city.
Can I spend a little time seeing if I can find one on my own?
Yeah, go ahead and roll insight for me.
Uh, 8, I believe. Yeah, 8.
Interesting. Let's see here. Alright. As As you travel around, you try and see if you can find this fortune teller, and sadly, you don't. There is a somewhat busy market area towards the center of the city, but it doesn't seem to have anything quite like that.
Okay. I switch gears then.
Sure, yeah, what are you
See
thinking?
if I can find some sort of like expert on the desert.
Oh,
Bankeral, like, or like some sort of somebody in like the geology sort.
okay. So where would you go for that? What are you looking for? What kind of person, what kind of profession,
Is there sort of like yes, like knowledge-based area town, sort of like a university,
Oh.
or maybe even like an arcane knowledge sector, kind of like the Spire in
Soulsland. Okay. You find that close to the market district here, but just a little bit out of the way to kind of get rid of the noise on the street, there does appear to be an archive of some sort. It advertises its place as a repository of books, but you quickly find that as you get towards the door, there's a small fee that is requested of people to look at the books there.
How much is it?
It seems that there's a certain time limit that you have here, and you can spend a couple of hours, roughly about a quarter of the day, in this area looking at books if you so desire, and they charge you 5 silver.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So you step inside, and you can see that immediately there's a desk over towards your left there, and somebody, kind of leans over. You've already got your money in hand, and they nod and acknowledge your request. Taking the silver from your hand, you are given like a small little card that says that at this time you'll have to leave, and you kind of head on in. There's some other people here. It's fairly quiet, but it appears that amidst all the books, that people are pretty respectful, and they just kind of keep to themselves.
Should I have asked before I left that front counter if she could point me, or he, whoever's there, if they
Yeah,
could
for
point me in the right direction towards these books on, if there's any books on the desert, sort of artifacts or something?
You can see it's somewhat of an older woman there behind the counter, and she says, "About the desert, do you mean distant lands? Baccaral? Sildshaw?"
Baccaral.
Oh, there's a couple of books over there, and she points towards a corner of the room.
Thank you. Over.
Okay. So heading over in that direction, you find that this area of the repository is completely silent. It's very empty, and most people are kind of in the other sections. It seems nobody is really reading these books, and you can see that there's a good number of tomes here throughout the area. You also see nearby what appears to be like a small little altar of some sort, like a little religious thing.
Can I go over and look at that?
Sure. Do you have proficiency in religion?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll that, please.
15.
Interesting. You recognize what this is. You know to whom this altar belongs. It is an altar to the god Aurex, who is the youngest brother of Eredin. Aurex's domain includes that of writing, study, and magic. He's credited with creating arcane magic in its entirety, and he's the sort of patron deity of wizards and people who have to spend long hours poring over tomes, that kind of thing.
Okay. Can I maybe say a small prayer asking for a little bit of guidance and
Interesting.
maybe invoke any sort of help he might have? I don't know his relationship with his brothers, but
Okay.
kind of bring up that I'm sort of
Now-
mission for Eredin.
You can see in front of this little altar, there appears to be a little silver bowl where people have left offerings. And amongst the offerings, you find some things that have to do with study. Somebody has left like a small inkwell in this bowl. Another person has left a quill. Somebody has left a few copper coins. Are you going to leave anything there, or just kind of kneel and say your prayer?
So I have this scroll case full of a bunch of my studies and prayers.
Oh.
So I will pull out a couple little scrolls of things that I've taken down from my time as a hermit and put them in the bowl.
Some of your hermit studies. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll luck for you with advantage here. Oh wow, that's a 4 and a 5. Never mind. He's not home. You go ahead and
Okay.
leave these here on the bowl and say your prayer, and then go to look at the books. Nearby, you manage to find a few tomes on Baccarat. And as you pour through them, why don't you go ahead and roll for me a intelligence check, just to understand and find what you're looking for. If you have proficiency in it, you could use investigation.
Nope. So it'd just be a +2, so 14.
Okay. You find out some info. Are you searching for anything in particular? What do you want to know?
Anything that would sort of relate to this, whatever the shroud in the desert is.
Oh.
Kind of trying to gather any information and try and make sense of what these dreams I've been having.
Okay, anything related to your dreams, basically.
Yeah, I guess, pretty much.
Okay, nothing about the shroud in the desert.
Okay.
In fact, the only mention you see of shroud has to do with the fact that a lot of people over towards there, they wear cloth coverings to kind of keep their armor from heating up in the sun and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Other portions from your dreams. Interesting. Let's see here.
Maybe to narrow it down, if there's any mention of whatever the torch. Oh no,
The
I guess
torch
that had
too.
to do with Eridan, right?
Yeah, who knows? You
Does he
don't
draw
find anything
fire?
like that in these books. No mention of the torch. The only thing that you find in here that has to do with your dreams is apparently it's rumored that there are light brown robed druids that roam the deserts.
Okay. Oh.
The book
Okay.
mentions that travelers
Is it-
beware not to interact with them, and that there are as many recordings of helpful deeds done by these druids as there are terrible ones.
Does it mention anywhere where they can be found?
No, unfortunately not. It says they come
Okay,
and go
that kinda
like the
makes sense.
wind.
Alright. I guess that's it
Okay.
for now.
Who else has something here?
Aldrin has to find. Is there a pond or a river or a stream nearby?
Oh, there's not. It appears that this place is completely out in the middle of nowhere, but you do see what looks to be like a watering area that's been attached to a well.
Ooh, I might pollute their well if I wash myself over there. Let's see. I either wash myself there and possibly get arrested, or just stay like this and then I'll
Can
just
I-
stick like this. I like the Pasog beard that I've going on.
Can I
Okay.
actually pop in on Aldrin?
Sure, yeah, you leave after spending some time reading there and find Aldrin in the street. He looks like he's looking around for something.
What are you looking for? I already know what you're looking
I was looking for a pond or something.
for.
so I
Good,
could-
because you smell like shit.
Oh, well. Deal with
Can,
it now.
can we find a dark corner? or
Sure, yeah,
something?
you step into an alleyway.
Alright. I'm gonna cast Create Water
Oh,
and
I'm
bring
gonna
it
run.
down. Nope, I'm bringing it down as a 30-foot cube.
okay.
You're gonna
Alright.
drown somebody. Just think
And
about
it
this
comes
before
down
you do
like
it.
rain.
Because everyone in this town loves druids, right?
That's why I'm in a dark alley.
You
I'm
step
gonna
in-
run inside to the nearest building.
You step into a dark alley and
And I
pause
don't know
there.
that.
And before you can react, you see Lotha waves his hand towards the sky there and says a couple magic words, and suddenly clouds swirl, and you hear like a whoosh, and suddenly raindrops start to pitter patter all over the ground, including yourself.
Oh, bastard.
Do you want
Can
to
I
run
find,
out
like-
of here?
Yes, I'm gonna go find shelter.
All right.
Can't make it rain inside. Haha.
You see Aldrin runs away, going further down the alley, and quickly makes his way out of the rain cloud you've created. Though you think that you've washed him at least partially.
Okay.
What'd you get for calling me or telling me I smell like shit?
Telling you like that is.
Thorn
man.
whip him back into it. Drag his ass.
Aldrin kicking and screaming like a little
Yeah.
child.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah? Okay, go ahead and
I'm
make an
gonna
attack,
thorn whip
please.
him.
Oh yeah, make a strength check there, buddy.
Not a strength check, it's an attack roll.
Yeah, so
Attack
make your
roll.
attack roll, see if
Oh,
it hits.
yeah,
Oh.
alright. 7 plus.
On the dice,
You gotta
baby.
get an 18 or higher.
No.
Yeah, okay, unfortunately, you go,
Oh, it's
you're
a
like,
two.
"Ugh, get back here, and try to summon up the whip, but Aldrin is too slippery. His drenched dwarven body with, like, little pieces of flowers now fall off him. You see a sock that is, like, dislodged from his beard lands on the ground. You throw out the
Oh,
whip,
now
but
I'm
it misses
upset.
his ankle, and he escapes down the alleyway and turns down the corner.
Okay.
I'm kind of upset because I lost one of my socks.
I'll just
Damn.
make my way out the other end of the alley
Okay.
and just disappear.
How about you, Verth? What do you want to do?
Ooh.
Throw me
Seeing
back
all
into
this
the rain.
preparation for my favorite season.
Yes.
I think winter is misunderstood, and I really like. It's like the natural gods, right?
Yes, indeed. She is the least liked of the natural gods. Most people, when they pray to her, and this is common knowledge, just pray for her to leave early.
I like her. I like her a lot. I think she's super misunderstood, and I'm super excited for this thing. I want to go, like, seeing as there's preparation for this festival and celebration. I want to see if there's like any heavy lifting stuff that I can see people like trying to set up, kind of like a gathering area, or
Oh,
see if
interesting.
there's anywhere I can help.
Yeah, there's a number of places. It seems like the festival isn't really held in a central area so much as it's just people are putting up decorations and things like that everywhere. However, most of it seems to be concentrated in towards the main market. And as you head over there, you can see people who are currently getting ready for the whole thing. And you can see somebody who looks like they're setting up. Maybe it's like a soapbox or like a small stage, kind of like that. And you go over, and as you approach, you see that it's a human man who's like trying to set up this thing and offering your help. He quickly just pauses for a second. He goes, "Oh, of course. Back's not what it used to be."
And I'll take the heavy load and help him out.
Okay. He seems quite pleased when he sees that you help, and you do most of the heavy lifting for him. And are you going to spend kind of like the day trying to do whatever you can?
Yep, just helping however I can. If there's like kids in the area, kind of like having a good time, like excited for the festival, maybe I'll use my ice breath in the air to kind of
I
get them
see.
all hyped up and stuff. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, there are gangs of children that run around and play and stuff like that, and for a moment you attract the attention of one and then breathe into the air, leaving like frost and tiny little specks of ice and snow kind of drifting about in the air. And the kids, all knowing the festival that's coming around the corner, they really enjoy it and kind of like run around and play in the sort of like drifting snow that comes away from your breath weapon. You get a couple of not shady, but perhaps unpleasant look from the guard who see you doing this. But the people around, like the adults watching, they seem to see what you're doing with the kids, and they seem quite happy about it.
Other than that, that's really all I have planned.
Okay.
Wait, you don't trip and murder a child?
No, that was Monday Group.
Oh.
Oh, the kicking in the door. I heard about
Yes.
that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm sure Casey told stories. Okay, so you go and do this, and it seems to get you. I refrained from using the term street cred, but people seem to really like it, and you walk away having improved your relationship with the general populace. With all of this finished, unless somebody else has something they want to do, you guys can all meet back up at the war pick.
Aldrin is gonna go outside to where it previously rained,
Okay.
pick up his sock, and roll around in the mud.
Ah.
The end. Okay, so you go and roll around in the mud
You
there.
have died of dysentery.
Literally cancer.
For some unbelievable reason, you see what looks like a very grubby-looking homeless man carrying a bottle in his hand at the end of the alley, and he looks over and sees you rolling there, and he just goes, "Dwarves," spits on the ground, and then walks away.
I'll look at him, and as he's walking away, I'll be like, "Old gross grody man," and spit on the ground.
He just keeps wandering. He doesn't stop. Okay, so you guys head off towards the war pit, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As you make your way inside, all three of you get in there and find that the place it's really it's kind of bumping. It's late in the afternoon right now, and though not many people drink, there are many filled tables with people who are currently eating here. And you see not the usual fare. In most cities where it appears that the inn is kind of like a place that people go to pick up a lunch or something like that, you see quite a high ratio of travelers to common folk. And you can see what looks to be like there's a mercenary band over there, there's some merchants over here, those could be adventurers over there, that sort of thing. And the whole lot in here is very mixed. There are some free tables, and as you three make your way over there, you sit down, and some attendant comes over towards you. She looks like she's the maid for like the front of house, and as she gets over, the door opens, and Aldrin steps in to the room, completely covered in mud. And you see a worried look comes over this woman's face, and she makes like a hand gesture towards the barkeep, who immediately stops what he's doing and steps out from behind the bar.
You're about to get bounced, kid.
Do you have a shower I could possibly use?
Who are you asking that to?
The bartender dude. Actually, I'll just announce it to the entire room.
Everybody kind of like takes a moment to like look over from their glass and just stare.
We
at
don't
you.
know him.
You don't look at him?
We don't know him.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
absolutely
jump up and be like, "Hey
pretending
guys,
I don't know.
hey, I'm right here. How's it going, guys?"
The woman there gives you a sort of incredulous look, Verth. She says, "What do you want?" And while this is happening, you see the bartender, like, kind of behind her, like, grab Aldrin by the shoulder. His, like, really strong hand just kind of, like, collapses around your shoulder there, and he says, "All right, this way," and kind of, like, pushes you back out the door.
Wait. I just wanna. Can I have a beer?
He says, "You wanted a shower, didn't you?
Yeah.
Got a hose out
Like-
back.
Then this way," and he just pushes you through the door.
Is this a shower?
Yeah, he kind of just, like, points to a bench nearby that's outside of the inn.
That looks like a very dry shower, sir.
So sit down.
I think you're.
Sit
I
down!
think you're mistaken. No, wait. I'm not done here.
He crosses his arms.
I just want a simple shower, and I'll pay you for it.
He says, "I'm
gonna-
grabbing your shower right now. Sit down."
He's gonna throw a bucket on you, man.
Awesome. I just want to make a friend. How would you like to become my apprentice?
He walks away from you.
Oh my
All right,
God.
wait. I'm joking. All I need is a shower, and then I'll be out of your way.
He disappears around the corner of the building and then comes back with an incredibly large-looking pail of water. And he just walks over towards you and then just dumps it straight over your head. And he kind of steps back and looks at you for a second. He says, "No, not in my inn." And he says, "Stay there." And he goes back for a second one. And he comes back and he just spends a while pouring like 3 or 4 buckets of water on you. You get giggles from children nearby and some curious looks from a couple of people reading a book across the road. And eventually, after a while, he goes, "All right, yep, that'll do."
Now, may I be allowed into your bar?
He just points at the door.
Thank you. I'm gonna walk right in there.
Okay. You head in, dripping wet, but no longer covered in mud, flowers, beer, anything like that, and head over towards your table there. You got a couple
Free
of odd
Free
looks.
shower, man.
I'm gonna take my beard and like rub
No.
my hand down it so it drips down, but it goes on a little bit on the Lotho. You know,
Yeah.
you told me I smell like shit,
I drew and craft a little breeze to blow that shit away.
and it goes all over Carrick.
I look super upset.
Oh, Carrick, you got a little bit of water on you.
I start unsheathing Rezo.
Oh,
do I?
drive.
Yeah,
Do
you,
I?
Drive your hand with
Do
your
I?
blow dryer.
you grab and you just hear, oh yeah.
Holy shit, you've got the Kool-Aid, man.
I put Rezo away.
Okay.
God damn it.
You don't hear anything, but you can almost feel like it's sad.
The second time I've done that to you.
One day it'll be Head Aldrin.
You're all seated here, and if you
You love
wish,
him
you can
too.
get food. It's only 2 silver for a meal, and same for an ale.
I'll only get a meal.
Hey. Wow.
There do
How
appear
much
to be
would...
rooms. It's a single gold piece, should your group desire one.
Oof.
Price is a little too steep.
Guys, we need to sleep here. Well, that's true. Verth wanted to stay the night. Well, Verth, if we're staying the night, you should pay for all of us, right?
I'm sorry, how much was it?
Innkeep says it's a gold piece each.
I won't question it, and I'll just throw down 4 gold.
I'm
Okay.
super surprised that worked.
She takes the 4 gold and, hands the food that you ordered a little while ago and steps away. And
And then before she leaves, like, I'll look at the dwarf,
okay.
and then I'll look back at her, and I'll put another gold piece down.
For the sheets that you'll need to burn tomorrow.
She nods at you,
Hey,
and
hey.
she goes, thanks for understanding, hun, and kind of taps you on the shoulder and takes the gold piece.
Yo, you fucking player.
You're getting like all the women here in this town.
Give her the roll 2 wink.
I'll wink.
Yeah, you'll wink? Okay. Go ahead and roll. Persuasion, please. Or no, straight
Here comes-
charisma.
Oh, please get
Here
like,
comes the
nat
2.
20.
Hey, 12. It's not a 2.
That's modest. Let's see. What do we got for luck here? Oh, she must like Dragonborn. She kind of gives you a bit of a grin as she heads off.
Ooh, Birth is getting late tonight.
Once you get scales, the wink never fails.
I'm just sad you guys didn't all rent the same room. Like, awkward. Like, can you guys just stay out for, like, a couple hours?
The next
Okay.
morning, we're all just sleeping out in the hallway.
Let's see here. So you get some rooms, and a few of you get some meals, and it's nice to have something that's not just like berries and cooked meat from off the road. It's kind of pleasant to get something properly prepared and just handed to you that doesn't require all the fuss. And as you're seated here, what do you folks wish to do? Are you gonna long rest through the evening?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I do, I'm gonna try to find some unsavory, like-minded individuals, I'll say. And try to get some more, just ask a couple of quick questions before I go to bed.
Interesting. You look around the area trying to spot some types like that, but they've already spotted you. A group of 3, how should I say it? 3 hooded and leather-armored men are seated in the corner table, and one of them already looks over his shoulder. He flashes you a couple of signs with his hands. The thieves' cant for "What's up, Doc?"
I'm gonna laugh and walk over. Can I attempt to steal a cup of a thing of ale from someone who's not looking
Oh, hell yeah.
as I walk over?
Yeah, go ahead and you can roll either stealth or sleight of hand. Your choice, honestly.
Oh shit, my d20s are under my mountain. So goodbye.
What the fuck have you been doing?
Yeah, have you not seen that?
He's super upset. He just
I'm surprised you didn't see that. He's just been stacking them there the entire time.
What the fuck? Okay, alright.
Super happy at his reaction. All of it was worth it.
That's so great. He's knocking
What,
everything
what
over.
am I rolling?
This is stealth or sleight of hand, your choice.
It's a 15 either way.
A 15? Okay, alright. You're trying to steal somebody's ale?
Yeah, just like someone's like leaning over laughing and they're
Right.
not seeing it, and I'm just.
There's a group
I
of
take it on
merchants
my way
nearby who are being brought a fresh set of rounds, and as one of the glasses is placed on the table, you just as easily pick it up and just put it back in your hand, and no one seems the wiser as you wander towards the table.
Nice.
The men
Suave
kind
as
of-
fuck.
They kind of like move to the side to allow you to sit at the chair there, and there's an extra one left. It's a sort of like 4-man table here, and do you
Right.
go and sit down?
Yeah, I'll sit down, and the first thing I'll say is, "Hey, you guys are traveling bunch of ominous fucks. What the fuck's going on with your hoods? Come on, guys. Cheer up, we're in an inn."
One guy kind of gives you a look like you have no idea what you're doing, and
Maybe.
he doesn't seem pleased. Whereas the other one says, "It's more than one way to do things." They just speak to you in common at this point.
Okay.
And it's kind of difficult to make out their facial features, but they seem to be nice enough to you. And the second one, he says, "Doesn't really matter in Zorencia.
In Zorencia,
not.
specifically.
Must not be from around here."
No, actually, saw you guys, and I figured I'd just kind of get the general quick summary of Zorencia and the nearby area. We're looking at maybe going to Aurelium. We've heard the forest down there is a bit hostile, to say the least. So, looking for job opportunities, looking for rumors about scary forests, and
What, the
general
jungles?
info if you've got it. Well, the jungles for one, yeah, but we came across, it almost seemed corrupted.
The grumpy
forest.
one says, "If you go in there, you're fucked, kid."
Oh. Alright.
Says nobody's come out of there. Not one report. Take my advice and don't bother.
Shit. Heard nothing other than that?
Well, you see one of the cheerier ones. He says, "Well, if you're going into Aurelium, I mean, what do you want to know?
Well,
Not
Look,
much work
it-
down there."
no, it's a long story, but, we've come across a couple of corrupted forests, and there's some money involved, in taking those down, so, there's some giant fuck-off creatures, apparently just seeking refuge in these places, turning everything black with their tentacles. It's a bit bizarre, but there's some money in it for us to track down these blights, as they're called. So, we're
The
really
one at
looking
the back,
for that.
he's not the grumpy one, but the other. He says, "Yeah, we don't really know anything about that. Me and my colleagues here are more so, how would you say it, boys?" And then the other one, he looks over at you and he says, "Silverware collectors."
I give him a big devilish grin.
Shit, I've got a butter knife.
I wish I
One of them's like pulling it out all of his pocket.
You did have a butter knife. It is gone.
Aldrin,
I-
make sure that's still there. That's his prison shank.
I feed him a kind of devilish grin, but wish I was still in the game, to be honest. But I have my reasons for being out. Other than that, any work nearby? Any word?
Yeah, well, said you're going to Aurelium.
Well,
Could make
I
some
mean-
good theft over there.
yeah.
Busy with the war and everything.
Provided that we can either go around the forest or survive it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. And anything budding half-elf silverware collector needs to worry about heading south?
Into Zorencia? Oh. It's a haven, isn't it, boys? And the other two kind of smile.
Haven then. Perfect. Sounds great.
Says you keep
Well,
your head down, have coin if you get into trouble, everything will be fine.
Fine. Heard it's a little more industrial down there and
You can
run
say
by
that.
merchants, right? Alright, well, unfortunately we've just gotten robbed of all of our gold. We don't have much in the reserves.
Well, it's a bit too heady for me, but I heard there's a house around here that could be liberated of some items.
Really?
Yeah. Well, don't know how you feel about pissing off noble folk, but it's like House Olga back there.
House
Use a little
Olga.
bit of pack lightning.
Well, I haven't gone for a good stretch in a while, but something to keep in mind.
Everyone's gonna be busy with the festival tomorrow. Anyway,
Cock an eyebrow, and I just kind of thank him and bid farewell, and down my ale, and I'll leave.
okay. You get up and go and head back towards your table. The three figures kind of give you a brief nod. Not one of them, though, who seems to not be particularly fond of you. And you make your way back to the other table. You guys have
Of course,
all seen...
I'm a rogue that everyone can see from a mile away.
Exactly. He's probably talking to them about, like, okay, so after that talk, we should probably go. He practically wears a cape. So you're back with your group, and you saw that Carrick left to go speak with some shady types in the corner.
So,
Alright, guys. Well, what was that?
nothing. I choked
Oh.
on a peanut.
Did that horse shower out there just rummage around in your brain? What's going on with you?
Hey, that was one of the best showers I have taken in forever.
A golden
Really?
shower,
'Cause it was
says the
the-
chat.
Oh, well, that's kind of scary.
He just
Little
keeps
did you-
buckets of piss on him.
Would Aldrin be able to tell the difference, honestly?
You know what? That's a good question. I think he wouldn't have advantage on that perception
How-
roll.
How did you get this heated so fast?
Hey, just think that you have horse piss on yourself too, so.
So
Actually, no,
anyway.
So anyway, right. Well, I'm gonna be off to bed then, unless you guys have anything else planned.
Off to
Nothing
bed.
for me.
I'm gonna go see that one bartender that threw water on me, or supposed water. I'm just gonna stir up some friendly conversation with him though.
I'm sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going
Actually, yeah,
to,
screw it. I'm gonna go to sleep too.
I'm gonna go to 4-hour bed, then 4-hour trance, baby.
Interesting. So, who is not going to sleep here immediately? Aldrin, you're going to talk with the barkeep. Let's do that first.
Yeah.
You're over at the bar, and your companions are getting from your table and going in their different ways. What do you want to say to this barkeep? He gives you a look as you sit at the stool across from him there. Sees that you're kind of drying up a little bit slowly here.
You have a towel by any chance?
Yeah?
May I borrow it?
You buying anything?
I already did.
He pauses for a minute.
What would 3 copper get me? Your towel?
Poor. And he throws you the towel. Says you can keep your copper.
Being dirty
joke's
gets
on
you a
you,
bunch
I've
of
got-
free shit.
Just
Hell
roll
yeah,
in the
man.
mud
That's
more
that's
often.
the play here.
If I'm gross enough, people will pay to get rid of me.
Yeah. Hey, how much would you pay me to leave?
Are you
Um,
actually saying that to him?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask him if he knows if there's any smithing areas near.
Says, yeah, we got a few smiths in town.
Any of them that would be willing to let me use their forge.
Doubt it.
You know what? What is that supposed to mean?
Means you're filthy. I know most smiths wouldn't even trust their equipment with their own kin. Or clumsy,
Oh,
let
yeah.
alone some sort of, I don't know, drunken, dirty dwarf.
Yeah, I've got my own tools. I just need to borrow their fire and their forge.
Yeah, that's your talk to have with them.
Alright. Well, have a good morning to you too, sir. I mean night.
Yeah, you too. He kind of goes back to cleaning his glass there behind the counter.
And I'm gonna take his towel and shove it into my beard.
Okay. Where's
where I
everyone
store
going?
everything
What are you guys doing?
I'm staying out to see the first moon of winter. To pay
Oh.
like respects to it.
Interesting. Well, there is no moon in this world, but you can definitely wait till the stars come out.
That's fine.
Okay. The rest of you are going to sleep.
I'm actually going to, before heading to bed, I'm just gonna sweep by and see if there's, because I know, I must know, I think that shrines to Ea are usually in like inns and places like that, so, or can be. So I'm just gonna quickly see if there's a small shrine. If not, I'll go to bed.
You're gonna look for a shrine to Ea. Last I checked, you didn't know anything about her.
Okay,
When
fine,
you
I'll
talk
go
to
bed.
the
You're
priest.
right. You're right. I mean, I knew there was. I guess you're right. Yeah, I would know about a shrine. Okay.
We can see though if there's something like that while you look around. But that luck roll is a 3, so unfortunately not.
Okay, no problem. That's true. All right, so I go to bed.
Are you? Oh, you're really going to bed? I thought you were gonna go to Olga's house. Okay.
No.
The cutlery days are behind you. Okay.
I'm just gonna dry off his beard and then hit the hay.
Let's see here. Alright, so everyone goes to sleep save for Verth. And the inn seems to get quieter as time goes on. But some folks stay. And it seems that they intend to also wait through the evening or are just drinking throughout the night. Something like that. In an early celebration on, perhaps. Oh, geez. You okay?
Yeah, I just dropped my cup of water on the ground.
Sweet.
God damn it, you.
Damn it, Aldrin.
Weekly.
You're
Filthy
in real
dwarf.
life, weren't you?
I was grabbing a cord out from behind my computer and it was wrapped around my cup and it fell.
Yeah,
you know.
you're Aldrin.
Okay,
in real life.
okay,
Alright,
yep.
Confirmed.
So,
I am not Aldrin in real life. I take showers.
I take showers. I roll around the mud very seldomly, thank you. What do you want to do as the stars start to come out outside Verth?
Just stare up.
Are you out in the streets?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll insight for me.
Let's say 5, I believe.
Interesting.
No, I'm sorry, that's 6.
The stars are out, but for a brief moment, and a cold and chill wind begins to start propagating through the streets. And as it does, and nighttime drags on, you see it begins to turn overcast, and clouds from off in the dark distance start to make their way over the city, Dio's outpost.
I'll just stay up for a while, just in my own thoughts, and then once it gets pretty late, I'll head back in
Okay.
and pass out.
So you wait for some time and spend what hours you have there out in the stars, and you can feel as the cold comes about. Though, given your kind and your type, it's not quite as intense. It's more like a pleasant chill than anything. And eventually, you turn in, heading back inside, and using your room key, kind of go to get some rest. And with that, everybody gets a long rest, and you all wake the next day. What do you folks wish to do?
I'm gonna go sit down at a table and just waiting for Verth.
Okay.
I'll sit down at the table with him.
Okay.
And I'll join them.
Alright, Verth. How long is this whole winter party gonna take?
Can't imagine longer than a day. Well, this afternoon.
Awesome. And is your affinity for winter because of your... Sorry if this is insensitive, but your type of Dragonborn? Is that a thing?
What are you trying to say? And I'll just smirk at him.
You know what I'm trying to say, I think. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
Eric and the bartender are a lot alike.
I just like it. What's
Nice.
wrong with that?
Oh, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. All right. Well, we'll party here for a bit. I honestly haven't gotten much info at all. Although, once Lotho comes down here, I do want to.
Oh, Lotho's there.
Lotho's. Everyone's here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I did get some word about Aurelium, that I think we should all consider. Folk told me that there's absolutely no one, underline again, no one coming out of Aurelium, the forest, anyways. Period. No reports, not even horror stories. Straight up, people go in, they don't come out. So, I don't know if we want to tempt fate in that regard. I think that going straight to the desert might be a good start. That's where the eagle told us to go, rather than chasing public enemy number one right now in Skyfall.
Hmm.
What do you guys think?
Why not head to the desert first, and we can always skirt around if we need to. But it doesn't hurt to
Exactly.
go straight there.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
We're already on the border of Zarencia. We simply head down, and we'll be in the desert at no time. And if I remember on that map, there is a city in the northeast of Baccaral, right? So, if we're looking for experts or equipment for desert, it might be best to find it in a place that's currently in the desert, right?
Mhm.
So, we can kind of head our way down there. I don't know about you guys, but the gold situation is pretty grim right now. So we might need to pull a job or two on our way down. Now, I've found some slavery work with a deadline of IE today. And it does involve a bit of burglary, but I'm not exactly inclined to go that route, to be honest with you. I'm not feeling nowadays the whole thrill of thievery. I'm more inclined to use resin at this point, and I tap on my hilt. So, what do you guys think? Do you think Dio's a decent place to get some work? Should we just kind of celebrate today and then find out tomorrow? What's going on?
Birth, what do you know about the? Do you know anything about the festivities that people tend to put on for sort of celebration?
Wouldn't
Like-
we all kind of know?
Yeah, would we?
What the festivities are like? Yes. So anybody who grew up in Skyfall will know how they do it at the very least, and things in Kent are somewhat similar. The Winter Festival is not quite as much of like a joyous and raucous party as the other ones. Instead, Winter's Festival is more so where all the people of the town get together and they all not only feast and spend time with one another, but perhaps more importantly, they share their possessions with one another, so everybody is ready for the coming cold, so that everyone might survive and emerge on the other side unscathed. So people give like coats to the poor and swap food stores and things like that. There's drink and food and stuff like that, but it's not a huge like drunken romp through the streets sort of
There's
thing.
no like fighting rings or anything.
No.
Okay.
There's no Aldrins.
Yeah, it's not an Aldrin holiday.
Oh, this is a disgrace.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely need.
It's like a hello, my fellow man. I respect you. Don't die
Mhm.
next, in the next couple days to the freezing cold. Here, take this.
Well-
Aldrins. Oh, good.
All I was gonna say is I'm not too keen on the idea of burglary. However, I can't stop you.
Well, like I said, unless there was an overwhelming majority to go, I'll put my skills to use. But otherwise, my day of thieving, at least hitting people that absolutely don't have it coming to them, not exactly something I'm too keen on. So unless we're really in a jam, I'd rather come about work a little more honestly.
Yeah, I think that we should stick to not getting arrested. I've been in jail way too many times already. No.
Well, I
I'll
think
raise
we-
I'll raise an eyebrow. How many
I
times
think-
have you been arrested?
I thought I told you this. I may have not, though. Only a couple times.
Right, that
This-
sounds like a couple too many.
The guards were in the wrong there. It was not my fault.
I'll look to Carrick for like confirmation.
And I just shake my head.
He was in prison too. He was there with me.
Yeah, what I learned in my travels with Aldrin is to never pull a job requiring stealth with him. It's a bad call.
It's not my fault that they left a rake in the middle of the yard.
And I just remember in character, I'm like,
Or that
oh
you
my
threatened
god,
to
you
kill
did
the
fall.
child.
Threatened to. Don't remember that. Don't remember it that way.
Oh yeah?
He was a teenager at best.
I
by
could
the
either
way.
give you a piece of gold or give you an arrow.
I wouldn't
Right.
give him an arrow. I would shoot it at him, first of all. And
Oh,
second of
yeah.
all, he totally had it coming, and I still think he's the one that told on us, so maybe I'll hunt him down one day, who knows.
Therefore, child murder.
Teenage. I'll wait until he's of age. Are you happy?
Right.
What are you gonna
How about
do with
we
it?
chill here for the day and then tomorrow make our way down to Andis. Addis? How do you say that? In
Not
Buckaroo.
sure, it's just on a map.
Because I would have passed through there on my way up.
Oh no, you would have gone. I thought you went through the other area.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
You definitely could have been through through Addis. So let me tell you about the town. You only stepped in there for a brief moment, but you did travel through there. The area around Addis is a little bit different than the rest of Baccaral, and there's actually some small vegetation that grows there in the dirt before it turns into desert towards the south. And there's an actual road that travels through the area as well, which you had used to get through. Addis is the largest town in Baccaral that you saw, and the only town that you saw, and has, if you remember correctly, roughly a few thousand people, maybe 5,000-6,000 people. Most of the houses there are made of mud brick, and there's a large mud brick wall that goes around it. But there's a large set of tents and like semi-permanent structures that can be found all around the outskirts of the town. And it seems that incredibly large bands of like mercenaries and cavalry armies are always parked around there. You didn't really stop to see what was going on. You just stepped in, grabbed a meal, and left as fast as you could, pretty much. But you do know that there is like a proper road that goes there, and then if you travel south of Addis, it just goes straight into desert.
Right.
Anything you want to share? You've been kind of staring into the void for a little while.
Sorry, just recalling some information about Addis. Lots of mercenaries, small little city. Might be a good starting point.
Right. Well, if we're gonna be buying gear there and maybe a guide, although, sorry, was I there when we found out that the druids were like psycho wanderers? Not really,
Ooh,
right?
are we going to go see more druids?
No, that was a single
yeah?
thing that that Lotho read in a book, and he has not told you guys anything about it.
Right. Okay.
He has perhaps strategically kept that information to himself.
And in fact, Lotho didn't recap his dream either
Mhm.
to me,
No, he
so I
didn't.
don't know that either.
You're in the dark. You
Um,
just know that Lotho's been like staring off into space on occasion.
Super
So
inside his head.
all I know is a shroud in the desert.
Basically, yeah, that was the only
Something
bit that
like
you heard, because the eagle told you all about it.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna need gold regardless. If we're gonna hire a guide to find the shroud in Baccaral, we're gonna need to hire them. We're gonna need to get some gear, maybe some whatever the fuck passes for horses down there, and head over to maybe Jakuta. I'm not sure what that is, but it's on water. It could be the main capital.
Yet appears unconnected to any roads. There's a city named Jakarta down by the lake, which seems to be also surrounded by a jungle of some sort. Kind of like a very, very large oasis in the middle of nowhere.
Right, and there's Jakuta. God, they really need to work on their names. It seems to be near a forest too. So if we can get a guide across the desert, not die, and kind of get some information there, we might be in a position to do as the eagle asked.
Sounds good to me.
So bypassing Aurelium, so we don't all die.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea right
No,
now.
you know, it sounded like a good idea a few days ago. Doesn't sound like a good idea now. Yeah, the gentleman I spoke to in the tavern, well, just here last night, were basically calling me suicidal for even considering it. So, yeah, let's just head down. And anyone who's gone through Zarencia, do you know if it's Havez or this other town that's the main capital?
Oh. It's reasonably common knowledge that Inanbar is the main capital, but both of them are very large cities and could kind of be mistaken for one another.
So I figure we only have a few options. Well, we have thousands of options, but if we're doing, like Lotho said, following Eridan's call to wreck this blight, Eridan isn't pouring gold from the sky, so we'll need some equipment. Do any of you have any idea how to farm jobs? I'll be honest, my call it vocation in life will only really ever lead to, well, plentiful jobs, but jobs that are on the wrong side of the law.
Why
Well-
not? Why not partake in this today's Winter's Festival? And I'm sure people before winter preparation will have some odd end work that needs to be done.
I mean, you're right. It's just I'm kind of worried about odd end work.
Nothing shady.
I guess no. I don't mean shady. I just mean in terms of pay. Right, the last time it was 10 bloody gold, and it actually cost us over 200 gold to not do the job, more or less. So, you know, I guess I'm looking for a guaranteed payoff, which is impossible, but something close to it. And I'm this close to calling Theo again, but I know it's a terrible idea.
The moment
Well-
that you mention that, you see a bird flies away from a window nearby, and the door opens.
God damn it.
And in steps a very well-dressed man. He looks like a human noble who wears a fairly dark and slim suit with like a sort of silvery lining towards it, and he has a cane in his hand. He steps in, and you see the barkeep quickly realizes, like, oh man, this guy's is like a big deal, and he calls for the woman to the front of the house, and she quickly goes to speak with him and offers him a spot, and he says, no, I'm with them, and he points towards your table.
Dun dun dun.
He steps towards your group and gives you a smile that seems oddly familiar, and you hear a voice that some of you know very well. And he says, "Did I hear talk of business?" And we will end the session there.
Ooh.
It's business time.
It's business.
I was about to sing that too.
Oh my god, it is Wednesday. It is business time.
It is.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Tuesday was the
Everyone's
night
got
that
his
we go help
socks
your
on.
mother with the video machine.
Oh man. Well, congratulations, folks. You made some gold. You extorted an
Level
extra
4.
10 gold out of a poor
Alright.
gnome.
I
Monsters.
Learned a lot, so I'm happy.
That's true. You got a lot of intel. You learned a good bit. Perhaps not everything that you wanted, but you definitely got some usable info. It's
Right
just that-
now, I don't want to head down south with the wallet that we have, because we'll get fucking murked in Zarencia if things go
Yeah, that's
wrong.
pretty tough.
Oh, yeah, there's that. Yep.
Like, if
Mhm.
we get stopped by anyone that's crooked, we're fucked.
Yeah, if there's a place that screams police corruption.
So, you know, back in Carrick's thieving days, that would be a fucking, like they described it, a haven. But right now,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like I'm just broke as fuck.
Yeah, you're like, damn, why did I start my character arc already?
The
Okay.
only resource we need.
So I think that we'll sign out there for tonight. Let's see here. That's it, guys. Thanks to all you players. I think you four did awesome, and this was a fun session. Perhaps more rolling around in the mud and shit happened than I expected, but the other bits were really quite cool. And thanks to our audience for tuning in. Thanks to our patrons. You guys are the reason we get to do this, and we'll see you next time. We're gonna talk some random shit and stick around. You can kind of hang out here if you want and listen. And hope you enjoyed it. See ya.
Ugh, that was a good session there.